What's up, guys? I'm Nick Zuppi, and we are here at Don Bosco Prep Stadium, called Granitel Stadium, and welcome to Friday Night Lights here in Ramsey. We got a huge rivalry for you, the 79th all-time meeting between Don Bosco Prep and the great rival Bergen Catholic. To my right is Salvatore Noble. He's my guy. He's a senior. And to my left, he's a rookie, but he's a junior. Ross Vacaltoro. How we doing, guys?
Doing great, Zoop. Doing great.
What's going on, guys?
Happy to be here.
So we got a star-studded matchup. We're going to start with Bosco, okay? The quarterback, Devin Sisler. Sonny, tell me about him.
So Sisler, he's a transfer in from Toms River. However, he's off to a little bit of a rocky start. Bit of troubles through the last 4 games. Bosco is only 1-3. Sisler has thrown 1 touchdown, but 5 interceptions up to this point, so not looking great for him. He's looking to turn it around. Again, they're halfway through the season. He's really looking to turn it around. However, on the running part of the game, they really are productive. Logan Bush, stellar year last year, 1,300 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. Ross, tell us a little bit about this ailing Don Bosco Prep team.
I mean, you kind of hit it on the head right there, right? You know, the 1-3 record, obviously, not the prettiest sight in the world on that standing sheet. Obviously, you brought up, you know, you got a new face under center in Sisler coming in from Toms River, a little bit of Southern Jersey right there. And, you know, all in all, I mean, kind of off to a slow start, no doubt. But, I mean, you know, definitely there's some time to turn it around, obviously, you know, get the system a little bit under control, and who knows? Maybe we can see this season turn around quicker than expected.
So, Sonny, you beat me to the punch. My next question was going to be about this senior running back. He's a captain, number 1, Logan Bush.
Of course.
Ran all over the field last year for this Ironman offense. He's behind 3 new offensive linemen. What's this Bosco running game looking like this year?
Well, the Bosco running game, it is definitely being relied upon. Again, Sisler got less than 200 yards, I think it is, on the season. He's got, I take it back, 354 so far, again, in 4 games, so he's not great on the average. He's still trying to increase his confidence in the pocket. Running game, though, Logan Bush, as I said before, stellar season last year. Even though he split time with Nolan James, he did incredibly, and they're relying on him here this year a lot as well. He's only averaging about 3.8 yards per carry versus 7.4 last year, but he's still getting the job done out there on the field.
Now, Ross, we're going to pivot to Sisler in the passing game. Bobby Mays has been the clear wide receiver. Ross, tell me about the Ironman Award winner, maybe. He set the high jump record in track, but tell me about him.
I mean, you look at Mays, right? No doubt about it. The top target on this team. Also, you kind of look at Logan Bush in that backfield. Kind of the 1A, 1B on this offense that, you know, like we brought up before, hasn't really clicked all together to start the season off. But you look at Mays, you look at Bush, kind of two of the, you know, brighter spots on this offense that, you know, has some time to make adjustments. But definitely you see Mays, you see Bush, the numbers they're putting up. Definitely a great sight to see.
I mean, Bobby Mays, he's leading the team in catches. He's leading the team in receiving yards. He's leading the team in average yards per catch. He's leading the team in the average receiving yards per game. And he's leading the team in the longest reception. I mean, he's just been the killer this year on the Bosco offense. But now we're going to pivot to the defense, right?
Of course.
The senior captain, Lamont Lester, transferred in 2 years ago. His first season with the Ironman was his junior year. Monmouth commit, leading the team in tackles. Sonny, tell me about him.
So Lamont, I mean, of course, he's a monster up front. He is not the only asset that this Don Bosco Prep defense has. They got big number 97, Jordan Thomas. I mean, he's committed. He's big. He is 6'6", 85 4-star commit. He's going to Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. You also got out there another senior captain. You got Jaden Brown, number 8 safety. You guys look out there for him. He is tearing it up on the field. This Bosco defense really is strong. They're just really looking forward to just shutting down the offensive Bergen here tonight. And they're going to have to do that to keep this productive Bergen offense from just pulling away with the game.
Now, Ross, a staple of last year's team was the experienced defensive backs. This year, it's a little bit of a new group. You got Jack DeMena, Vincent Bertone having to move from linebacker to safety. Ross, tell me about the defensive backs.
I mean, obviously we brought up, you know, the D-line being really the strong suit of this team, right? But, you know, the secondary hasn't really been, you know, kind of a liability at this point either. I mean, you know, they're kind of staying par with the course. Obviously, you got the guys on the line itself kind of, you know, I don't want to say carrying the defense, but obviously, you know, is the strong suit of this defense. You know, it's been more highly touted in years past, but they definitely still got some, you know, reoccurring names that came back this season. You know, a couple seniors you see that kind of, you know, having the swan song season, but, you know, for the time being, definitely still got some solid names on that defensive line.
Speaking of another solid name we didn't mention, he's another linebacker, tied for first on this team in tackles with Lamont, Syracuse commit. He's a captain, 3-year starter, Jay Brown. Sonny, tell me about Jaden Brown.
I mean, I did mention him before. Jaden Brown had sacks, he had interceptions last year. He was going crazy. This year, not as strong of a start. However, he is a great leader. I had the opportunity to talk to some of the other defensive players on this Bosco team, and they all said they basically said the same thing. They said, look, Jaden Brown, he is a true captain. They said, we're happy to have him nominated and named as captain because that's what he is. He's a leader. He's the one that gets us riled up before games. He's the one that says, hey, when we're over on the sideline, hey, maybe we just gave up a touchdown. We got to work hard next down. It's not, oh, this person, that person. Let's watch some film. Let's get going where we need to get going to shut this game down on our defensive side.
So I think we pretty much covered Bosco, right? So that leaves Bergen. Bergen has the better record. They're 3-1, ranked 31 in the nation. Coming off a actually big loss against Chaminade in Florida, who's ranked 5th in the nation, 61-21. Ross, they got a junior quarterback. His name is Dom Campanelli, and he's been throwing the ball all over the field successfully. Tell me more about him, Ross.
Right. I mean, obviously, the name sounds familiar. Happens to be the son of head coach Vito Campanelli. But, talent's definitely there. He's a junior, I believe. And, he's been slinging it. You see, you brought up the loss down in Florida. They had 61 dropped on that defense. Obviously, they put up 21 themselves, so the offense definitely isn't the problem. Names we're going to mention later down the road, guys like Quincy Porter, Kaj Sanders, some of the highest touted, recruits in the area. Even Quincy Porter being number 1 himself, so the offense is definitely really not the problem. Honestly, you look at this team and, that Bergen team in general, there really is no liability anywhere on the depth chart, but the offense for sure is the furthest thing from it.
With Campanelli at quarterback, who does he hand the ball off to? That would be none other than number 1, Kaj Sanders. Sanders is a Rutgers commit. He's the leading rusher on this team, but they do a little bit of a committee in the backfield. Mujad Russell, the other one, he's a junior. Sanders, though, is like a Swiss Army knife, they call him. He plays offense and defense. Like I said, going to Rutgers. Sonny, tell me about Kaj Sanders.
Yeah, Kaj Sanders, I mean, you said it yourself. They call him the Swiss Army knife for a reason. Both sides, both passing and rushing, he's really leading this team. And really, just the whole team is such a threat. Touching back on Campanelli for a second, he's got 775 yards total, just about more than double than what Sisler has on the air. And they've really been dominant. This team is steamrolling ahead. They are, as you said, 3-1. Only one loss to the number 5 in the nation. In total, Bergen is a formidable opponent, and the defense is really going to have to work hard on the Bosco side to shut them down because they have such versatility in their players.
I mean, outside of Sanders, Mujad Russell, Dante Kane, 2 guys in this Crusader backfield that all have over 100 yards rushing this season. Really a 3-headed monster, sounding like Bosco from last year, remember? Ronnie Heath, Logan Bush, and Nolan James.
Right, that lethal backfield.
Yeah, man. So is this the new backfield in Jersey that they have to, Jersey schools have to look out for?
Well, I mean, you brought it up before when we had our turn at it. You see Ronnie Heath out the door, graduates. Nolan James, we lose him to DePaul. Still got Logan Bush here, but obviously bring up Bergen. I guess you want to say, change into the guards in terms of the backfields. And, you look at that Bergen offense top to bottom, there really is no, like I said before, there really is no, I guess you want to say liability. I mean, they are, stacked from top to bottom on the offensive side of the depth chart. Defense isn't much worse, but you want to talk about moving the ball on their front. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to stop points from getting off their side of the board.
Now, the big question is, who does Dom Campanelli throw to? 2 words, Quincy Porter. Quincy Porter has caught 9 of the 11 touchdowns from Dom Campanelli thus far. He's got 35 scholarship offers, notables from Alabama, Michigan, Penn State. Sonny, 9 touchdowns, 175 yards.
Boom.
9 touchdowns, 421 yards, 21 catches. Tell me about the junior stud.
I mean, look, being a 5-star recruit, it kind of speaks for itself. He's, as you said, he's got so many touchdowns already on the year, and he's getting the job done. This team, I've said it again, I sound like a broken clock already. Formidable opponent. Quincy Porter is just one of the assets that they have. Again, and he's only a junior, so he's going to be a problem for another year. He's the first junior to be ranked number 1 in the state since Rashad Gary, the Packers' edge. And, I mean, I think he's really going to put on a show tonight. But you did mention all those offers. He is still undecided, so he's going to have to really make that decision. But, again, he's got time, only a junior.
So we're going to pivot now to their defense. Their defense is, they had a bye week last week, but like we mentioned earlier, their previous game was against Chaminade, who put up 61 points on them. They're looking to revenge that effort against Bosco here. Their leading tackler is Christian Gonzalez. Ross, give me an overview of their defense.
Right. I mean, you bring up Gonzalez. Obviously, you got guys like Elijah Kinsler, shaping up that defensive line. Even got guys in the backfield. You got Naeem Parrish, to be exact. So, like I said before, the defense still one of the best ones in the state. I mean, we can't, emphasize this as much as we can. This Bergen team, top to bottom, is stacked with just weapons left and right, offensive and defense. You cannot get much better than this team. And, not to mention this team coming off back-to-back state championships, and it's looking like they're not going to skip a beat, at least on paper. Who knows how it plays out on the field, but on paper, this team's as good as it gets.
So you mentioned those back-to-back state titles. I think it's the perfect time to pivot to some of the previous matchups that these two schools had. So obviously, we all remember last year's game, state championship, 45-0. Crusaders crushing the Ironmen. Sonny, tell me about the game a little bit.
One word, brutal. 45-0 getting shut out. Bosco, after winning the league, going undefeated in league play, they beat Bergen earlier in the year 31-7 on the road. And that's an interesting point as well. We'll get into that later about road games, the trend we've had in the last few years. But 45-0. And interestingly enough, that's kind of been the mentality that everybody here at Bosco has been having. 45-0, we got to get back on that, right? This is revenge for this Bosco Ironman team. Bergen had their revenge when they came back from that 31-7, beat us 45-0 at the States. Now Bosco is getting their get back this season.
But Ross, the year before that, Bergen and Bosco played in the state championship.
That's right.
And Bergen won again. 28-7, Steve Angeli running all over the field. Ryan Butler, 2 touchdowns. Ross, fill the fans in at home from that game.
I mean, listen, at the time, we're going to use the word Sal used before. It was brutal. And that was a year before we knew what we had in store. A year later, same stadium, same Meadowlands, same everything. That loss felt like you hit rock bottom at the time. And then obviously we didn't know what we had in store with the 45 zip. But, you talk about 2 years prior, 28-7. Bosco, correct me if I'm wrong, they had the first score of the game. They had the leadoff touchdown,
yes.
And then it was 28-0.
Minakuchi ran in for the touchdown in the first quarter. I remember that.
And then it was 28 unanswered from the Crusaders. There was just really no life shown from Bosco in that second half. And, you look back, going in next year, kind of like, part 2, and, there was no life from opening kickoff. So, you kind of, first game back from that lethargic 45-0 blowout, you're looking to just show anything right from the jump because, right off the bat, the bar that you set last year, there's really no way you could go any lower. So, hey, man, just show some life right off the bat, and, who knows, maybe momentum carries you, and, we'll see how history, hopefully history doesn't repeat itself again.
On a positive side for the Ironmen, though, in the previous year, the shortened 2020 season, Bosco and Bergen played the famous Ethan Acevedo walk-off touchdown game, 21-20. Bosco gets the win.
Beautiful.
Thomas Zawicki kicks the game-winning point with zeros on the clock. Sonny, tell me about it.
I mean, I think you said it, 21-20 coming back from down. This Bosco-Bergen rivalry has so much history. Historically, Bosco is up, I believe 41 wins, 42?
Bosco is up in the record 41, 35, and 2.
And actually, interestingly enough, as I mentioned earlier, the last 4 games that these teams have played in the regular season, the away team has won. So if that is going to hold true tonight, it would be Bergen. However, we got to see what both of these teams bring tonight. Are they going to be on top of their game? I'll tell you what, though. We were mentioning about how much lower the bar can go after 45-0. There was a prominent news source that said earlier today was putting out their hot takes for this weekend. They said, I mean, really, this is quite a fire starter. They said that Bosco not only is going to get shut out by Bergen, but Bergen is going to put up 40-plus points. They're predicting almost a replication of the just monstrosity that was last year, 45-0. And I was talking to Coach Sabell and the other people on the team, and they just said it just makes them angry. But they're going to use that anger the best that they can. It's going to fuel the fire that they have for this game. Zupi, what do you think about that? Do you think they could really utilize the kind of anger, the anguish that they had from last year and just bring it even harder this game?
Oh, without a doubt, 100%. We had a pep rally today for the folks who don't know. About last half hour of school, and let me tell you, Ross, that was pretty crazy, right?
Oh,
we had the Iron Man mascot taking down the Crusader mascot. We had Malik Shepard hitting some dance moves. I mean, we had it all.
Vader made an appearance.
Backflips.
Backflips.
Of course, fan favorite.
Push-up challenge. I mean, you name it, we did it. Pause. But I mean, it was just truly a special time, and that was not for nothing. Most Bosco people believe that they're going to come out and make a statement win today.
And that really is the feeling amongst the kids at Bosco. And you will see, ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, you see that big open space on the side of the grandstand. That is for the Iron Maniacs. They are going to be here almost 800 strong tonight, really showing the support. And that's what you love about the Bosco Brotherhood, right? We practice what we preach. We were all there during the pep rally. We were all cheering each other on. And we're ready to cheer on our boys tonight. And that's what we're excited for. And we're here. It's a beautiful night, Granite Stadium. What's better than this?
But it's Bosco Bergen, so we got to talk about this rivalry, man.
Of course.
I mean, we mentioned the record already. Ross, I mean, you can't speak about the rivalry enough. 2019, after Bergen comes back and beats Bosco on the road, Javante Jean-Baptiste said after the game, it's more than just a win, it's a statement. When you play in a big rivalry game like this, how important is it for your school to get that win?
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, you got the last 10 games there. We're talking about a rivalry that's been spanning across, what, 6 decades, maybe even more, without a doubt even more. This team, it don't matter what the record is now. It don't matter what the records are historically. These two teams, no matter what the skill positions are, the fates of the teams on the standings, one thing that'll never change is the hatred these two teams have for each other. These two schools have for each other. And you know what? Every time they take the field, it's a sight to see. You see the media coverage here. You see obviously Sal brought it up. You see the open seats. It's going to be filled to the brim with Iron Maniacs. You'll even have the Crusader Crazies.
Crusader Crazies. If you look on your screen, they're up there on the white, right over Ross's left ear.
I mean,
They've been banished to the other side.
They pack those bleachers to the brim, and it's for good reason, because no matter, like I said, the records, they might be, not so much polar opposites, but, obviously, two teams kind of going a little bit of different directions right now, but no doubt about it, the on-the-field product, these two teams, there'll never be a day where these two teams have, are the furthest thing from not standing each other.
I mean, every Bosco Bergen interview you look at over the years, they mention how big the rivalry is. Andrew Ball in 2019, after Bergen wins their 4th game in a row against Bosco, he says, what's better than Bergen-Bosco? And then the very next game when Bosco beats them in the playoffs, Colin Ramos said, it's all about making the big plays when the time comes. Excuse me, Jake Robbins said that. Kyle Ramos said, it's just about never quitting, never stop fighting. We had to come out and show that we were the tougher team. So in this rivalry, Sonny, how important is it to be the tougher team?
That's all it is, right? It's the gridiron games, one against another. And they always say iron sharpens iron. You got to be tough as nails. You got to be sharper than iron, ladies and gentlemen. You could use all the euphemisms you want. It culminates. This is the culmination of all the training that happened over the summer, the games that happened the preseason, the games that have happened so far this season. I don't care. I honestly do not care what the state final looks like. This is my state final, right? This is Bergen-Bosco. This is the fight for New Jersey. And this is a sight to see. This is a sight to see with such rich history. And I mean, this game, it's not even that this game is important in football alone. The feeling of, hey, we won this or hey, we won that, it moves over into basketball, moves over into soccer, moves over into academic competitions. I mean, it really just kind of goes into all different aspects of what it means to have a rivalry with another school. And it's great. It really is great. It is clean. There's nothing dirty. It is simply one team competing against another, and it's perfect. It really is.
You're talking about one powerhouse to another. Obviously, you talk about the field, you talk baseball field, football field, the ice rink, the hardwood. It don't matter. These two schools as a whole can't stand each other. One thing I wanted to get to, you want to talk about longtime head coach of our program, Greg Toll. That's right. Greg Toll happens to now be, was he a defensive line coach with Bergen now?
Yep.
But you want to talk about someone who basically, to say he pioneered the program today as we know it would be an understatement. We're talking about a guy who brought 2 national championships to the school, 09, 2011, 9 state championships to show for, is now on the opposing side of the sideline, taking on a different role. But, it goes without question that Greg Toll, if it weren't for this man right here, who knows where this program would be, right? Turned it around when he took over in 99. And, now we're going to see him on the other side of the field. But, obviously a name that's synonymous with Don Bosco football.
Without a doubt. In 2003, by New Jersey, that Bosco team was coined the greatest high school football team in the state of New Jersey.
That's
and
right.
you know what? I still think it is. That 2003 team, man, they were loaded. They were loaded with talent. 2-time national champion, though, 2009, 2011. During Greg Toll's stretch at Bosco, this is key, He outscored opponents 562 to 89. If that's not domination, I don't know what is, Ross.
Without a doubt. I mean, you were going through the max preps before. You see year after year, you're seeing 11-1, 12-0, 11-0. You're just seeing a switcheroo between zeros and ones in that loss column. And I mean, obviously now you kind of see him, taking on a different role with Bergen, but his legacy, without a doubt, will never go unnoticed here in Ramsey.
So now we're about 15 minutes from kickoff. I'm sure you see the field starting to empty. The cheerleaders are coming out. That means Bosco's coming out very soon. So we read an article today, us three, NJ.com, top 50 players in New Jersey. A fifth of them are playing in this game, 10 players. So the number one ranked player in New Jersey, as Sal alluded to, is Quincy Porter. Sonny, tell me about him.
I mean, we were talking about him before. He's powerhouse. We're powerhouse, juggernaut. I don't care what nouns you're using to talk about him. I don't care what adjectives. He's dominant. 5-star speaks for itself. There's, less than 30 5-star recruits in the whole nation? And he's just dominant. Again, still only a junior. You said, big frame, 6'4", 205 as a wide receiver. He's got speed. He is going to be really something that the Don Bosco Prep defense is going to have to watch out for tonight. And, that is something that really interesting. I was talking to some of the defensive players earlier today. They were saying, look, we really got to stop the balls downfield. They really think that is kind of their hamartia, their fatal flaw, right? That is the thing that they really think is killing them. Because they're winning. And this is what Quinn said. He said, look, Quinn McHugh, a great guy, great friend of mine on the defensive side of the ball. He said, look, we're winning 8 out of 10 plays already. We just got to get those final 2 under wraps. Those are the long balls. Those are the big runs. And we will dominate this game. Ross, I know you were looking a lot into the top 10 players that we have here. Right. Tell us a little bit about them for the Bergen and Bosco side.
Well, I'll tell you this. It was actually 7 happened to be on the list between Bergen and Bosco. I don't know why the headline said a fifth of it. You look at it, Bergen wins, I guess you want to say this comparison. They got 5, we got 2, but definitely all sorts of talent, top to bottom on the field. One guy I want to highlight on the Bergen side of things, you look at number 79 on the Bergen front, a tackle, Nair Daniels, class of 2024, 6'8", 315-pound monster. He's committed to Georgia, kind of a trend. So a lot of the big guys up front going to UGA once they graduate. He's ranked number 6 on that top 50 list. So definitely, a big factor up front. We obviously had, Chase Pasantis this time last year. Obviously not on the team anymore, down at Texas A&M, I believe it is.
Yes.
So, they
starting as a true freshman, I might add.
That's right. Talent's obviously there, and they got a guy who's pretty similar. Number 79, Nair Daniels, made the list at number 6.
But one of the key matchups tonight, the guy who's going to be in front of him for Bosco, big number 97, he's a Georgia commit, so they're going to be going there together. Jordan Thomas. He had offers from all over, just like Daniels did. Thomas ended up deciding on basically what is known as Defensive Line University, Georgia Bulldogs. He's ranked 7th on this list. Sonny, tell me about the big man.
And 7th on this list, I think 74 in the nation. That's including all your offensive players as well. He's a big frame. He's 6'5". He's 3'11". Personally, I've seen him in the halls walking around. I've seen him in class. I think he's even bigger than that. He really is a formidable guy out there. Look, they're going to be teammates in the future. Right now, they are bitter rivals, bitter enemies, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be fighting it out tonight. If Bosco really wants to make a statement early, get a sack or 2 against Campanelli, they're really going to have to really turn it up. They're really going to have to rely on their guys on the line, even behind. Again, we mentioned Jada Brown maybe get in there for a snack, maybe blitz the safety once in a while, or the linebacker rather once in a while. But yeah, Jordan Thomas, number 97, look out for him tonight. Look out for him tonight for sure. He's going to be making some big plays.
Now we're going to pivot to some keys of the game, Ross. About 13 minutes from kickoff. You can see the Iron Maniacs. They're right over Sal's hat. They funneling in, looking good. Blackout versus whiteout. So with that being said, some keys to the game. This Bosco offense, I was talking to the quarterback, Devin Sisler, and a couple members of the offensive line, senior left tackle Kevin Garcia, and the center, Pedro Valdez. They were saying one of the keys to the game for them is going to take a lot of deep shots down the field to Bobby Mays. Ross, how important do you think it will be in this game for Bosco to execute the big plays?
I'm going to say this right now. I expect this to be a barn burner. I believe, I think there's a difference between, pressing, every shot, just lobbing it down the field, hoping Mays is down there somewhere, and also seeing Mays as the open target down the field, which he does quite often. Now, if you see him down the field, open target, you hit him, and listen, man, you're getting pretty solid field position right out of the gates. Another thing I want to add is, they cannot take their foot off the gas pedal whatsoever. We saw last week kind of, laid off a little bit in that second half, kind of not so much a no-show, but definitely wasn't as competitive as the first half. Bergen not only, whatever the scoreboard tells you, this has got to be competitive from the first minute to the 60th, and I think they will do that.
And offensive coordinator, Coach Iggy Urbina, he was telling me about the importance of a balanced offensive attack tonight, getting the run game started with Logan Bush, and then try to take those deep shots down the field. But it's going to be a little harder tonight. This Bosco offensive line is battling some injuries. Center, junior, Burke Poland is out with a concussion. So you're relying on 3 new guys, left guard, center, and the right guard. They're all new, they're young, they're inexperienced, but I got faith in them. Sonny, tell me about them.
So let's go through the list. You said left guard, right? Sophomore, number 64, Rhett Morris. Let's go center. Junior, number 50, Pedro Valdez. And we got a right tackle or right guard? Right guard, you said. That's a junior. That's number 72, Alex Healy. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a fight out there. Again, Logan Bush, monster year last year. If he wants to continue to really thrive in the environment that was kind of created around him, around Ronnie Heath, around Nolan James, Logan Bush, I mean, it was triple. It was, it wasn't even double trouble. It was triple threat. They're really going to have to rely on the offensive line. I mean, we got some big guys out there. Last year, Chase Posadas, number 71, we mentioned him before. He was the one really leading the front. These guys are going to have a step into, they have some big shoes to fill. I mean, out there you got Kevin Garcia, number, 78. Look out for him tonight. He is not a rookie, ladies and gentlemen, nor is he filling in the shoes for anybody. He and some of the other more tenured players, or the players that have been here longer, they're going to have to really step up and bring along the guys that are filling in the shoes of our injured players. And I think that's your key to the game if you want to rely, if you don't have to, and you don't want to rely on just one side, passing or rushing, you're really going to need that offensive line to show up tonight.
So we touched on the offense. Now it's time to pivot to Bosco's defense, Ross. Defensive coordinator for the Ironmen. I saw the scouting report. One of my buddies gave it to me. Thank God I didn't leak it. Don't worry about that. On it, they were goals for tonight. Under 7 points. They're getting at least 2 turnovers. They're holding Campanelli under 200 yards. And they're holding the running backs under 100 yards. Ross, tell me how they're going to do it.
I mean, that's a lot to, that's a little bit of, a lot to ask right there. You're talking about a, defense that's seen, 1 or 2 turnovers here and there. We're talking about one of the most dominant powerhouses of an offense in not only the state, the entire region coming in. Holding the 7 points, honestly, that's more so of a, a belief aspect of things. And that's kind of, you want to talk about a key to this game, believing, right? Obviously, the odds are not in their favor. We're talking about headlines, seeing a repeat of the 45-0, repeat of the brutal losses at MetLife. You hold the belief in, you see yourselves, you look at it as an even matchup. You put the records to the side, all that and everything. And, while we may not expect to see 7 or less points on the board, hey, man, anything's possible.
One way they're going to do that, though, is work on their execute that game plan, is they're going to play a lot more man coverage, and they're going to rush fewer people. So talking to starting cornerback / safety, he's like a nickel. He plays both. Connor Cosgrove. He's also the punter and punt returner because kicker and punter Jack Donnelly's out with a hip injury. Don't worry, he'll be back next week. He's a junior. And here comes Bergen. They just ran out onto the field. The Iron Maniacs are booing. And, man, before we talk about how Bosco's defense is going to stop this Bergen offense, look at that Ironman student section. The Iron Maniacs, they certainly showed out.
Gave them a section and a half. Iron Maniacs all in black, of course, complemented by the all-white from the Crusader Crazies. It's going to be a fight here, ladies and gentlemen. A fight on the field, of course. You said how tough one team's got to be versus the other. And it's going to be a moral fight in the crowd, right? Hey, maybe there's an interception. The other team, the people, the morale, they really got to stay up. And I really think that is one of the more undervalued qualities, one of the more important things that we got to talk about here as well. I think that the team really feeds off the energy from the crowd. I think that the Iron Maniacs, and I mean, it's great, they got to show up here tonight as well.
So going back to the defense before the Iron Maniacs kind of interrupted our little segment here. No biggie. I'm expecting them to be loud, and we need them to be loud, like Sonny just said.
There you go.
And here,
boom.
And Bosco's coming. I'm hearing Phil Naughton's blowhorn. We're getting ready. So before we talk about this defense, watch this Ironman offense, Ironman unit storm out into the field. Mary Help of Christians cheerleaders are going to welcome in, just like the 1973 state championship team. They were ranked 8th in the year, 8th in the country that year, 1973. Welcome back to Bosco, celebrating 50 years for their state championship. But nonetheless, look at this Ironman team. They're ready. They're looking good. Lamont Lester, number 9, right there, getting them fired up.
See
You
Logan Bush.
You see the Bosco flag, the American flag, Logan Bush. Here's Aiden Hradek, number 95. I mean, they're looking ready, and I think Bosco takes it to them tonight.
I mean, and we're talking about morale. The team's definitely got morale right now as the Ironmen take to the field.
So pivoting back to the defense really quick, what Connor Cosgrove was saying, Ross, was that they're going to double team Quincy Porter on pretty much every play. I mean, why would they not?
Right.
He's obviously killing it in the wide
down the field.
Yeah, exactly. So how they're going to do that, either Makai Allen, the freshman safety, number 18, or Vincent Bertone, instead of playing like roaming around in the middle of the field, they're going to just double Porter and rely on the other corners to play man-on-man coverage. Ross, do you think that will work tonight?
Do I think it'll work? That's still up in the air. Do I think it'll be effective on Porter himself? I do. You cannot have too little, coverage on Porter himself. We're talking about one of the most highly touted prospects this state has ever seen. Sonny brought him up before. Rashawn Gary, the current Packers edge rusher. A couple years ago, was he with Paramus Catholic? He was the talk of the town. Bergen's got him right now, and Quincy Porter, the wideout. And I mean, you got double coverage, triple coverage. It don't matter. You know what? You'll figure the rest of that offensive unit out as you go along. But one thing's for sure, they got to lock Quincy Porter up. You can't have him kill you down the field.
So the guy who's going to be charged with locking him up is none other than a junior cornerback. His name is Marquette Dorsey. He is a highly recruited player himself, a junior, class of 2025. Offers from numerous Power 5 schools, Maryland, Penn State, Boston College, you name it. Sonny, Marquette Dorsey's the real deal, no?
I mean, you really hit the nail on the head. And to just combat such a threat, you're talking about, you say number 1 in the state, right? Number 1, I mean, we were talking about how long ago it's been, and a junior at that. I mean, we can go on and on, ladies and gentlemen. But it's really going to be a fight for these Ironmen tonight to really keep Quincy Porter under wraps. And I think that's one of the bigger keys to the game as well with the monster season he's been having.
And Ross, another key to the game we're about 5 minutes or so from kickoff. And Ross, another key to this game is the battle up front. Mainly Bosco's offensive line versus the very good Bergen defensive line. We may have touched on it earlier, but Ross, just in case for anyone who missed it, fill me in, man.
I mean, you look at, both offensive, defensive lines on both sides of the ball, right? I guess you want to say they're kind of the strong points of both teams. You look at, Bergen's offensive line. I mentioned Nair Daniels before. You obviously look at the D-line on Bosco's front, Jordan Thomas, Jaden Brown. You obviously got other names, Lamont Lester. And, in terms of the O-line, too, yeah, you take a hit with Chase Basantis out the door, but you still got some pretty solid names there to I guess you want to say patch up the hole that once was Basantis here. And all in all, really no liability. My bad.
And you're back with us in the booth. So real quick before this game gets underway, we're going to wrap up the pregame show. We're going to do some score predictions for you guys. Sonny, score prediction of tonight's game.
So I'm thinking if the defense of Bosco really shows up, really keeps it under wraps, and the run game, the offensive line for the Ironmen, even though they are kind of young and kind of inexperienced, if they hold up, I'm thinking 21-7, Bosco comes out victorious. However, if those things don't happen, I'm seeing 28-7 Bergen over Bosco.
Very nice. Ross?
Right. No, I was saying before, I think this has potential to be a barn burner. I believe if, Devin's sister, and this O-line kind of gets into lockstep and kind of gets things going on the offensive front, we definitely have some potential to have a barn burner in store. In terms of an actual score prediction, right now, I'll give you a 35 Bergen, 13 Bosco. Hope I'm wrong, but that's my honest opinion.
And lastly, I think it's going to be 10-7. Bosco kicks a field goal at the end of the game, gets the dub. I'll give Campanelli a touchdown pass to Porter. I'll give it to him. I think they get one, right? They're too good not to. 10-7, Bosco wins, defensive game.
And no matter what, ladies and gentlemen, you're here. You're in for a treat. Live from Grand Hotel Stadium. I'm Salvatore Noble, Nick Zuppi, Ross Vacaturo. Thank you for joining us this evening.
What a pregame show.
What a pregame show.
Pregame show before the best game of the season. Maybe the state championship. But
perhaps,
for now.
Perhaps we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
maybe.
See.
Knock on wood, right? Knock on wood.
What it's all
But
about.
for now, best game of the year. Bosco Bergen, what beats it?
That's
I mean,
right.
really, what can you beat it? This is the Battle of New Jersey. I said it before. Right. This is the Battle of Jersey. No other game. This is it. A rivalry that spans about 7 decades, perhaps even longer.
So we're having a coin toss right now to see who gets the ball first. Let's have a little fun. Ross, who wins the coin toss? Bosco or Bergen? Who gets the ball first? Bosco or Bergen? Better question.
I'll give Bergen the game. I'll give Bosco the first ball.
Sonny?
Bosco wins, kicks.
Okay. I think Bosco wins the same thing, actually. Bosco wins the toss and defers. That's what they normally do. I think they do it again. So teams are shaking hands. And
let's take a...
So I really can't determine what's going on. So we are about to kick off here in Ramsey. Bosco Bergen, let's do it. Here we go.
Ross, thank you for joining us for the pregame show.
Ross, truly a pleasure. You'll be back on air.
Yep.
Of course.
Thank you, guys.
Look at this. Ain't this familiar? Together again. Hey. Just like old times. And I mean, for one of the last times. Salvatore Noble, Nicholas Zuppi. You guys are watching live from Grand Hotel Stadium in the great town of Ramsey, New Jersey. You are here with us live as the Ironmen take the field.
So it looks like we were right. Bosco will kick off first. High five for that one.
Boom.
Bosco will kick off first. John DeVere, the backup kicker for injured Jack Donnelly, the junior kicker. Donnelly, hip injury, will be back next week. Bergen will have the first possession of the game. Prompt start time, 7:04 here in Ramsey, New Jersey. The anticipation has been building all week, like we mentioned in the pregame show. Bosco's pep rally was absolutely electric, to quote Luke Eitner. And let's do it. Father Malloy is right here. He's looking very excited.
Look, you don't call it Bergen week for nothing here at Bosco. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is the rivalry, ladies and gentlemen, and the culmination of the rivalry is about to get underway. We are punctual here at Don Bosco Prep, getting it started just at 7:05. As the sun sets, we have that glorious kind of pink, rosy background. I mean, a beautiful night for football. It's what, 65, 66 degrees to be exact. What's better than this? Friday night.
Friday
under the
night
lights.
Under the lights. Let's do it.
Let's get it underway.
DeVere's ready. Bergen's ready.
I'm ready.
Iron Maniacs are ready. Sal's ready. Crusader Crazies are ready. And we're off. Kick is off to Parodi, and there he goes, right at about the 10-yard line, and he's tackled right at about the 15-yard line. The Iron Maniacs start their game with their Bosco chant. Dom Campanelli leading the charge for the Crusaders, first possession of the game.
And an emphatic yeah to end the Bosco chant right as number 5 goes down there. Ladies and gentlemen, Bosco did a pretty good job. Special teams are there. And I mean, look, that's where it starts. You might say, just first kickoff. Look, that's where it starts. You get them to mediocre field position. They are just at their own 20-yard line now. They got the work cut out for them. Let's see what this offense for Bergen can do and what this defense is capable of for Bosco.
11 minutes and 53 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Campanelli will be in the shotgun, And we have whistles already, and a false start is the indication. Moving back Bosco 5 yards.
Wow.
I mean, Bergen, excuse me, back 5 yards already.
And you know that's
All right, sorry, the power went out in Ramsey. Not an ideal start for the media club, but hey, that's all right. First play, an incompletion. Porter, the intended target for Campanelli. If you missed the pregame, that's a name we're going to be saying a lot. Quincy Porter, tons of offers, #1 player in New Jersey. He'll have a game tonight, no worry, no doubt about it. So in the backfield, we got Dante Kane, sophomore running back, next to the junior signal caller, Dom Campanelli. He is tearing it up this season, 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, averaging 193.8 yards per game. And there's the man, the junior, the #1 player in New Jersey, Quincy Porter, with his first, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Anthony Perotti, the special teams kick returner with the first offensive, with the first yardage gain of the season, of the game for the Crusaders.
However, it is minimal, and after that initial false start by the Crusaders, they are pushed back. They have not even broken where they initially started. They have a 3rd and a long 12 to start this game, and the Iron Maniacs already going crazy with "you can't do that" chants. Here we go. Campanelli's got to show what he can do.
Campanelli in the shotgun, looking over to the right, scramble to the right. Lamont Lester chasing him as long as Eakins, and Eakins grabs him and takes him down right about the 15-yard line. Robert Eakins, a huge sack on 3rd and long, bringing out this Bergen special teams.
And we were talking about morale earlier. Is there a better way to get the morale up quickly if you're the Ironman right now than force a 3 and out off of a sack of this star team, the star Campanelli that we keep going on and on about? I don't think there's a better feeling. And now Punter is back all the way in his own end zone to kick it off.
Robert Eakins, the sophomore defensive end for the Ironmen, 17 total tackles, 2 of them for loss, 1 sack, now make that 2. But there's Connor Cosgrove making moves, punt returning, pushing the pile forward to the Bergen 40. Now, if you're a Bosco fan, which I hope most of you are at home, this is the ideal start for the Ironmen. The defense comes out, punches Bergen in the mouth, and the offense start in Bergen territory.
And the Iron Maniacs absolutely eating it up on the side as Cosgrove takes about...
1 sack, now make that 2. But there's Connor Cosgrove making moves,
And the Iron Maniacs absolutely eating it up after Connor Cosgrove returns it for about 15, maybe even 20 yards. Bosco starting with stellar field positioning down at the 40.
Pushing the pile forward. So here's Devin Sisler, play action, pump fake, looking deep, throws deep, pass intended for Mason, caught by Bobby Mays right about the 25-yard line, tackled right about the 20-yard line, helmet comes off, but we have a flag on the play. This is the ideal start for the Ironmen. The defense comes out, punches Bergen in the mouth, and the offense start in Bergen territory.
And the Iron Maniacs absolutely eating it up on the side as Cosgrove takes about...
Sack, now make that 2. But there's Connor Cosgrove making moves. So the Ironmen are in the huddle, and it seems to be a flag on Bergen.
Connor Cosgrove returns it for about 15, maybe
Bosco's
even 20 yards.
moving the...
Bosco starting with stellar field positioning down at the 40.
Bosco's moving forward. They're in the huddle. 1st and 10 from their own fake, looking deep.
line.
Throws deep, pass intended for Mason. Caught by Bobby Mays right about the 25-yard line. Sisler in the shotgun, hands it off to Logan Bush, bouncing right, met it right away at the line of scrimmage by number 14, Caden Irby Mason. He's a junior. He plays middle linebacker, outside linebacker, 22 total tackles, averaging 5.5 per game this year. He's a junior.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, with just about 2 minutes into this game, Bosco is already in the red zone. Are you seeing that, Soupy? Are we seeing the same thing? Bosco already within the 20-yard line of the goal.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, Bush to his right. Sisler blitzed by Bergen, screen past the Bush, and he's met right away at the 20-yard line. There's Irby Mason again, number 14, making the play. A tackle for loss, bringing up a 3rd and long right at about the 20 for the Ironman offense.
Forward progression is only going to bring them maybe a yard back. That is better than the sack that was looming right in the near future for Slisler. He got it off in time. Logan Bush, however, not able to go very far. 3rd and 10 for this Ironman offense. Again, strong. Thus, strong showing in the first 3 minutes of the game. We're about 8 minutes and 57 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Let's see what they can cook up.
Sisler will be in the shotgun. Bush to his right. Jake Long and Bobby Mays on their 2 receivers you see in the frame right there. Sisler gets the snap, looking over the right for Mays. Pump fake over the middle. Sisler climbing the pocket, throws it deep, and it appears to be out of bounds. The intended target being the running back, Logan Bush. So, 8 minutes and 37 seconds left, bringing up a 4th and 10 from the 20, which will make a 37-yard field goal. Bobby Mays on their 2 receivers you see in the frame right there. Sisler gets the snap, looking over the right for Mays. Pump fake over the middle. Sisler climbing the pocket, throws it. Bosco will send out the field goal unit. Like I mentioned at the start of the game, John DeVere, the sophomore, it will be kicking in place for Jack Donnelly. 37-yarder. Sisler holder gets the snap. DeVere's kick is up, and it is way left.
Wow.
The Bergen defense gets a stop here in this early portion of the game. Now, Sonny, do we feel the momentum shifting to the Crusader side?
I would say, look, it was definitely to one side of the scale in favor of Bosco. It is at least back to the middle. Bosco gets a huge stop, gets a great punt return, charges down the field, stop to 20. Okay, we'll kick it. Doesn't go in. You're right. Momentum definitely a shift. I don't know if it's shifted in favor of Bergen, but it is not in favor of Bosco anymore. I'll put it that way, Zoop.
8 minutes and 31 seconds, but Bergen will start at their own 20 for their second possession of the game. Campanelli went 1 for 3 last drive with Perotti the lone reception, and we have motion already on Bergen. 3 tight ends on this right side. No runners in the backfield, though. Oh, here's Sanders motioning the jet sweep to him. Sanders breaks a tackle. Bertone wraps him up, but he pushes the pile right to about the 30-yard line. Kaj Sanders, the Rutgers commit, they call him like the Swiss Army knives, don't they, Sonny?
They really do, and I will say that is a good job by Vincent Bertone, able to just hang on to Sanders as he's going up. He definitely had some daylight up the right side of the field. Got to him stopped in time. Yes, perhaps they get a first down, but they do definitely stop any progression after that.
So here's Campanelli in the shotgun. Bergen's doing some hurry-up offense. Sanders takes the handoff again, and he's met by number 95. He's a senior nose tackle for this Ironman defense, Aiden Horodnik. Aiden Horodnik for Bosco. 5 solo tackles, 6 assists, which amounts to he has 15 total tackles on the season, about 3.75 a game. 3 of them for a loss, 1 sack. Now 4 tackles for loss on the season. Aiden Horodnik making the play right there.
And after a jet sweep, the last play, Aiden Horodnik says, no, you're not trying the run game again.
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun. Brown blitzes, hands it off to Aiken. Here he goes, bouncing left, picks up a block from Porter, tackled right about the 40-yard line by Ramos, Bertone, and Acapinti.
And that is going to pick up a first down for Bergen, able to turn the corner. Not a huge gain of yards, however, enough for the first down. And they're moving the chains. That's what it is. Crusader Crazy's loving it. Iron Maniacs a little quiet over on the side. Not quite despondent yet. And again, the sea of Iron Maniacs over on the side. They are here, and they're supporting their boys.
So after a quick 3-and-out by this Bergen offense, they picked up 2 first downs already and are looking good on this drive. Marcus Linder, the center for Bergen, senior captain. Campanelli under shotgun. Gets the snap, a pitch to Sanders. Look, great block, Jaden Brown chasing him. Sanders pushed out of bounds right at about the 44, 43-yard line. And there's a late flag on the play.
Wow.
Looks like Vincent Bertone got a little aggressive right there with a push out of bounds.
And I think that is going to hurt the Bosco defense. And we didn't get a chance to touch on this before the game. However, I do want to mention it now. One of the big things that I think is going to be a huge factor in this game is trouble with the flags. Last game, Bosco playing a little bit sloppy at the end, and the other team as well, St. Joe's from Philly. Both teams, that was one of the main reasons Bosco got points on the board last game. Bosco has got to play it clean. When the man's going out of bounds, you can't get a late hit like that because that's just free yardage. And that's something that I really think is going to be integral to this game.
15-yard penalty assessed on the Ironmen, so that will move the ball into Ironmen territory. Just an unfortunate miscue, like you said, Sonny. You can't afford those flags in this type of a game. It's too important. You can't really afford that many mistakes. So Bergen will take over right at Bosco's 41-yard line.
And look, if you want to have a competitive game, that's all well and fine. But when it gets dirty, when there starts to be pushing and shoving, then it's not, look, it's not clean anymore. And then you don't have as kind of as fair as a game as you possibly could have. And that's what we want. We want a good, clean game. A rivalry is always fun, but keep it clear. Now a little bit of motion in the backfield as Campanelli.
Under center. Sanders fakes the jet sweep, handed it off to number 23, the Bergen running back, and he's tackled right about the 35-yard line to bring up about a 2nd and 5 for this Bergen offense. So one thing we didn't mention actually we did mention it, Ross brought it up. Dom Campanelli, the quarterback, his dad is the head coach, Vito Campanelli. The duo have been worked like a charm last year. Dom played his heart out last year, leading Bergen to a state championship win, 45-0 over Bosco.
And I mean, look, you said it. That's the father-son kind of combination right there. They really got some chemistry, it looks like. And Campanelli marching downfield already.
Here's Campanelli dropping deep in the pocket. He's got all day. Now throws over to the right side. Caught by Porter, making a man miss. And there is the first touchdown of the game. Campanelli to Porter, junior to junior. The two team up for a touchdown. Porter makes Mackay Allen miss right about the 2-yard line. And the first score of the game goes to the Bergen Catholic Crusaders.
And after a weak showing in a 3-and-out on the first possession, Bergen marches downfield, and we were talking about the long ball is what is killing this Bosco defense this year. And there you go right there, long ball downfield, straight to Quincy Porter. And there you go, boom, touchdown.
I mean, Quincy Porter was the talk of the pregame show, I feel like, for Bergen. And there he is, just showed why. 35-yard touchdown, second drive of the game. Extra point is up and good. So with 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go, 1 second more than halfway into this quarter, Bergen takes a 7-0 lead. Bosco was unable to capitalize on the good field position last drive, and Bergen responded in a big way.
And we were talking about momentum shift, right? We had center, right? All the way to Bosco, back to the center after that last drive in the missed field goal. Now, I'm going to say with pretty good confidence that it is all the way back to Bergen. And I think that is going to be important to this game. Bosco really going to have to show they can't go down by 2 scores this early in the game. They are going to have to answer here. But how do they answer? Do they answer with, hey, look, let's try our own run game. Look, you do it, I can do it. What you can do, I can do better. Let's try a pass downfield. You know, you got Bobby Mays go up, get big, boom.
To answer your question before you ad-libbed a little bit, the answer is 2 words. Bobby Mays.
Bobby Mays!
He had a great catch on that previous drive, about a 25-yard reception. Get him the ball and get out of the way, to quote Phil Jackson when they gave Michael Jordan the ball in space.
There you go.
Bobby Mays, he's the leading receiver on this team for Bosco, 17 catches, 155 yards on the season, averaging about 38.75 receiving yards a game.
Not a touchdown yet on the year, though.
Nope.
No touchdown. He's looking to change that here tonight.
I think he's going to change it. I think he
You think
will.
so?
Sisler
You think
to Mays,
so?
I'm feeling it. I called it right
You
now.
feeling it?
When it happens, it happens. And the kickoff is away. 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go. Allen catches right about the 2-yard line. The freshman safety gets a block, and there he goes down the left sideline. Mackay Allen tackled right about the 35-yard line. And the freshman, who has been one of the staples for this Bosco team despite the bad start, his special team performance has been off the charts. The second game of the year against Erasmus Hall, he took a kickoff 89 yards to the house for a touchdown right there. He returned it to about the 33-yard line. Bosco really benefited from Allen right there.
And the Iron Maniacs are loving it, coming in with their cheers of he's a freshman. Not great field positioning for the Ironman, but pretty good to start this next drive.
Pistol formation. Sisler looking over the left, throws to the left, and it is caught. Incomplete, I'm sorry. Mays unable to corral it. The defender, number 14, Irby Mason, we mentioned him earlier, 2 tackles on the last drive. Mays unable to corral it right there.
I will say, even though it is an incompletion, it is good to see Sisler a little bit more confident in the pocket. Last few games, he's been shaky. We mentioned 5 interceptions, 1 touchdown. You'd think that maybe would turn him away from trying to keep throwing the ball. However, it doesn't look like that so far tonight. Again, we already saw that 1 connection downfield to Mays. He's trying it again. That looks good on him.
Sisler in the shotgun. Play action pass, throw it is over the middle, and it is picked off. Bergen Catholic with the play. Jordan Thomas, the sophomore defensive back, makes the defensive play. And like I said, momentum, I think it's starting to shift. Bergen taking over at Bosco's 45 off the Sisler interception.
And I'm going to say I'm going to have to eat my words after that one, ladies and gentlemen. Just 18 seconds into this Bosco drive, they give the ball away to this Bergen Catholic team. That, I will say, is one of the, if not the worst way you can answer to going down 7-0 at the beginning of the game.
Jordan Thomas, the sophomore, not Bosco's Jordan Thomas, Bergen's Jordan Thomas, cornerback number 21 with the interception. Make that his third of the season, leading the team. Now Bergen offense, Dom Campanelli in the shotgun. Dante Kane, the sophomore running back, he has over 100 yards rushing this year. There's Kane, handoff up the middle, met right away at the line of scrimmage by Bosco's Jordan Thomas, number 97, the Georgia commit, the absolute animal playing defensive line.
There you go. One Jordan Thomas, another Jordan Thomas. Who's his superior? I mean, you saw that tackle right there. I mean, there you go.
Ball right there at the 45-yard line. You see number 9 right there for Bosco, Lamont Lester. He's a captain, Monmouth commit. He's really been playing his heart out. Lamont Lester leading the team in tackles, 27, averaging about 6.5 per game. 2 of them for loss, 3 sacks. No interceptions yet, but might change. Lamont Lester, definitely a presence for this Ironman defense. Here's Campanelli under center. Campanelli motions Perotti in. Campanelli fakes twice, screen pass over to number 20, Kane. There goes Kane down the right sideline, makes 2 men miss, and Dante Kane to the house. 45 yards off the double play action screen pass. Dante Kane, the sophomore, out of the backfield. Dom Campanelli, though, 2 touchdowns already. 4 minutes and 51 seconds to go here in this first quarter.
And just as the pocket seemed to collapse under pressure, Campanelli was able to keep a cool head, let the play develop fully, and boom, you saw the result. Kane up the sideline, beautiful footwork there, making 2 men miss, and in for the touchdown. You saw that speed, you saw that acceleration. That is why Bergen is the threat that they are. That is why they're up 13-0, about to make it 14, unless we have a flag on the play. There
Flags. We go. Dante Kane, that's his first touchdown of the year, the sophomore. He's got 108 rushing yards, 23 carries. That's to about 4.7 yards per carry. And we have a false start on the offense, moving them about 5 yards further for this up-and-coming extra point. 13-0. Ideal start for Bergen, not very ideal for Bosco. This might be a stat we have to refer to, Sonny. Points off turnovers. Sisler throws the pick. Campanelli responds with the touchdown.
And I'll put it this way, it looks really bad on Bosco. It looks great on Bergen being able to capitalize.
And the extra point is up, and it is right down the middle, and more whistles on the play, but it looks like the extra point will stand. 14-0, 4:51 to go here in the first quarter. Sisler coming out on offense after throwing the interception.
Less than 2 minutes after their last score, Bergen adds to their lead, ladies and gentlemen. Bosco, if there's a time where they need to show a little bit of life, they need to show it right now. The Iron Maniacs, they're all still here, but they got to get rowdy again. They really got to support their boys. Again, first quarter of play, not even over. Not even over. They're down 2 scores. They got to get, if they want to be in this game, they got to score here. They got to do something.
Sisler, that was his 6th interception of the year, and Campanelli with the 2 touchdowns thus far. 13 touchdowns on the season to 3 interceptions. He's really balling out this season. I mean, I alluded to him earlier. Dom Campanelli holds a couple scholarship offers to play at the collegiate level next year. He's really showing out already. 2 touchdowns thus far in the game. The senior, Cosgrove, back to return the kick for Ironman, and just like he did to the 35 last time, freshman number 18, Makai Allen. And they kick it to Allen in the end zone, and it looks like it'll be a touchback. Bosco's 3rd possession will start right at their own 25-yard line.
And they got to get something cooking fast here, Zupi. I mean, we were talking about it. We have seen a good bit of passing, and I had to eat my words once here already. However, if this Bosco team wants to stay in this game, they cannot shy away from the passing game and that threat that is Bobby May simply because of 1 interception. If anything, I think Sisler's got to get back out there and say, okay, maybe I got to be a little more careful, maybe a little bit more tentative on each of these passes. However, I think he's got to stick with it, Zupi. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. He's your quarterback. You got to believe in him. Here's Sisler handing off to Bush. Nice block there by number 74, Francis. Logan Bush tackled right at about the 20-yard line. Lost a couple yards right there. A nice TFL for number 8, the West Virginia commit on this Bergen defensive line, Elijah Kinsler. Kinsler, a senior, 2-time state champion, been a part of both back-to-back teams that won it for Bergen. He's got 22 tackles on the season, 1 sack. Make that his first, 2 sacks, his 4th tackle for loss on the season right there. And we have a little bit of Wildcat right here for the Ironman.
A little bit of trickery going on.
A.J. Larkin, the sophomore wide receiver in the shotgun, now run up the middle, and he's going right down the left side, and he is tackled right about the 25-yard line. So after a gain of 1, and we have late flags on the play. Bergen and Bosco offensive and defensive lines getting a little chippy. But Coach Iggy Urbina looks like he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Wildcat to Larkin already, 4 minutes and 6 seconds to go. You got to try something to throw this Bergen defense off guard.
Exactly. Look, you're down 2 scores, not even done with the first quarter. Whatever you're doing so far doesn't really look like it's working. You got to switch it up. What do they choose to do? Boom, let's go for an audible. Not even an audible, let's go for a Wildcat. Did they pick up some yards? Yeah. However, flags of the play, we're going to see if this is going to help the Bosco team or harm them further. Personal foul.
Late hit after the play against Bergen and a late hit after the play against Bosco. So those penalties will offset. 2nd down and 9, a redo of play. That's unfortunate because Bosco had a nice pickup, a nice gain right there by Larkin, the Wildcat. So right there, I saw a nice block by the left guard, Rhett Morse. He's a sophomore. This Bosco offensive line is a little banged up, and it's a lot different from last year. The 2 key returners, though, both tackles, the left tackle, number 78, senior Kevin Garcia, and the right tackle, number 74, Amari Francis. Both of them a part of the great offensive line last year that featured Chase Basantes, Chris Moreno, and Aiden Toomey. But here's Sisler in the pocket getting all kinds of pressure from this offensive line. Now he's rolling out the right side, pushed out of bounds by number 15 on Bergen. Anthony Morales, the senior defensive lineman.
And I mean, he had ample time in the pocket to get something going. However, when it did collapse, nothing going downfield, has to just tuck and run. He does pick up not very much yardage, actually, maybe a yard or 2. It's going to be a 4th and 5, they're going to call it. They're going to send out the kicking team. I see 4th and 5.
Oh, it's 3rd and 5.
They're going to call it 3rd. It is 3rd and 5.
I'm sorry.
Right?
It is 4th. I'm sorry, 4th and 5.
4th and 4, they're going to call it. Say 1 yard on the play. 35 becomes 4th and 4. And here we go. Going to have to punt it away.
Cosgrove, the senior, punting, and he shanks it a little bit, but takes a fortuitous bounce for the Ironmen, bouncing all the way down to about the 25-yard line. Cosgrove didn't get much hang time underneath it, but boy, oh boy, did that ball bounce the Bosco way.
Wow, and using a little bit of alliteration there, Zupi going all the way down to the 25, flipping the field effectively. Look, if this Bosco offense can't get it done, you got to at least give the defense a fighting chance. They've had 3 chances already. One of them, pretty good. 3 and out on the first play, on the first set of downs, rather, for this Bosco defense versus the Bergen offense. However, last 2 ended in touchdown. They're going to have to do something differently.
In the pregame show, we mentioned that one of the keys to the Bosco defense is limiting the big play, but they haven't really done that this far. Campanelli, 2 long touchdowns, 35 yards and 45 yards. Otherwise, this Bosco defense has looked pretty strong. Here's Brown wrapping up Sanders right at about the 35-yard line, and a whole herd of them. On a late flag, it looks like the ref talking to junior linebacker Colin Ramos. We'll wait to see what this is about.
And it looks very early here. We were talking about flag trouble and playing a clean game. When there is this amount of rivalry, this amount of hatred on the team, they really got to kind of shape it up. And you got see Lamont Lester out there saying, hey, dude, come on. You got to calm down. We got to play it straight here, man. Because look, it is a rivalry. Everything is heated. The crowd, look, we're all looking for a good fight, but it's got to be a clean fight. I'll say it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. It's got to be a clean fight. And now a flag against Bosco, that hurts them. They were doing pretty well already. But now look at that, move back 15 yards.
15 yards, so the ball goes all the way to the Bosco 44-yard line, 45-yard line. What a big penalty right there for the Ironmen. A little bit of flag trouble thus far. It's not Flag Day, but Bergen certainly likes this theme of Flag Day by the Ironmen.
If they keep it up at this rate, Bosco's going to be in a whole world of hurt by the end of the game.
So Campanelli in the shotgun, hands it off to Sanders, running right. Linder blocking Horodnik, and there goes Sanders right off the right edge, and he's tripped up hard right about the 45-yard line of Bosco by number 27, Colin Ramos.
However, still able to get onto the other side of the field. Pretty good positioning for this Bergen offense. 2 minutes, 55 seconds left. They're able to get over the 50-yard line, so even though he did do a big old flip on that tackle, got another 10 yards, and that is a Bergen first down.
Bergen going fast-paced tempo here. Campanelli in the shotgun, pulls it out of Sanders, and he is crushed on the throw, but a wide-open receiver downfield. Allen comes up with the play, and the senior, Luca Katia, makes the play for Bergen on the season. He's got 4 catches, 83 yards. Luca Katia, the big 30-yard reception for the senior wide receiver.
And Campanelli hit hard as he releases the ball, and the same thing with Katia. He is hit hard as... And they're going to call it roughing the passer, ladies and gentlemen. That was somewhat of a late hit. Some would say that, hey, look, that's just forward motion. He was already there. However, we do want Campanelli to... We do want the quarterback to stay safe, so we're going to call that, and that is going to hurt Bosco defense even further.
So that ball will move the Bosco, the Bergen possession, to right at about the 4-yard line. Bergen, I mean, they're really benefiting off these penalties. Bosco's got to get their mind back, got to start playing smarter. These penalties are going to start to kill them, man.
You said it, Zupi. Down, they're going to mark it just at about the 7-yard line. Now, Bergen's got 3 downs to basically walk it in.
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun. Russell to his right. Mujad Russell, 138 rushing yards on the season. No touchdowns thus far. Campanelli hands it to Russell, running right, picks up a nice block. Russell hit, and he is in. Touchdown, Bergen. Bergen Catholic scores on their 3 of their first 4 drives. Russell rushing it in for his first touchdown of the season. We've seen Campanelli throw 2. Now we've seen Russell rush 1. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this opening quarter. The score, Bergen Catholic 20, Bosco 0.
And look, they're doing it with unprecedented celerity, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 10 minutes have ticked down for the clock. You said 2:15 left, already 20-0 Bosco. So it is definitely not going to be a low-scoring game as Ross predicted, and it looks like it's not going to be the game I predicted either. Are they going to be able to come away with this game this quickly as the kick goes through for 21-0?
I mean, I alluded to it before that latest drive. Bosco and the big play, man. We had a 30-yard reception by Kutia on that drive, set up a Russell touchdown. The Porter touchdown was a 45-yard reception. And then on the previous drive, you had Sanders with the 35-yard rush. I mean, this Bosco defense, that's what we talked about in the pregame, limiting the big play. They win normally about 8 of the 10 plays, but hey, those 2 plays can hurt you.
There you go. And you saw twice downfield Campanelli able to make big gain of yards. 1 to Katia, 1 to Quincy Jones, that is. That's what's going to hurt them. They're not getting 7, 8 yards per play. They're getting 1, 2, boom, big one. And that's what Bosco's got to negate. You said it yourself, 8 out of 10. They got to get that last 2 under wraps.
Kaj Sanders, though, one of the featured running backs we've seen on this Bergen offensive attack thus far. We haven't really talked about him yet, and I think now's the time. He's got 28 carries, 175 yards on the season, 4 rushing touchdowns, and he also plays defense. He's committed to Rutgers. Sanders on defensively, 18 total tackles, 4.5 tackles per game. And he has no interceptions. He's got a pass deflection. So Kaj Sanders definitely leaving a stamp on the game already.
And pushing and shoving already at the end of that play as Bosco takes the ball, receives it after the kickoff, runs it out. I think they're going to mark him just about the 27-yard line, but we're hearing whistles and pushing and shoving. Tensions are high here, ladies and gentlemen, as Bergen has already pulled away with this game a little bit. Bosco's really got to answer here, perhaps even before the quarter ends. Zupi, what do you think? What does Bosco got to do here? Do they keep trying with the pass and rush, or should they do more wild cards? Should they do more kind of crazy concoctions to try to throw Bergen off their game?
I mean, they got to go to their bread and butter. When I see Bosco playing well, they're running the ball well, so the big boys up front got to block. Speaking of which, here's Bush down the left sideline, hit right about the 25-yard line by junior corner Naeem Parrish. Logan Bush, the senior, Logan Bush averaging about 66.5 rushing yards a game, 4 rushing touchdowns, 266 yards on the season. He ran for over 1,400 last season. Logan Bush doing his thing out there for the Ironman offense.
And Logan Bush last year, and you got to see if Sisler is able to utilize it this year. Logan Bush was a threat rushing-wise and passing-wise. I think he had actually 4 touchdowns in the air last year.
Here he is again. Logan Bush met right away at the line of scrimmage, but at the 31-yard line by number 8, Elijah Kinsler, taunting the Iron Maniac student section. Kinsler, we alluded to him on the previous drive. The West Virginia commit, 2-time state champion, senior. I mean, he's just a stud, flat-out stud. His younger brother's on the team, Jeremiah Kinsler. Maybe Bergen's got the Kinsler family. Maybe they may have to put them in the Hall of Fame. Who knows how good the younger brother will be.
Let's see.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, DeTrano behind the right tackle, Francis, and Bush behind Sisler in the backfield.
We'll try to get a hard count from Sisler here as time runs down.
Sisler hands it to Bush. Bush running up the middle, makes a man miss, and there goes Logan Bush, tackled right about the 45-yard line of Bergen. Pedro Valdez, the center, throwing a nice block for Bush. Logan Bush, juke, juke, juke. I mean, looking like Barry Sanders out there. Logan Bush, do your thing, man. Bringing that ball in the Bergen territory.
And Naeem Parrish is the one that eventually brings him down. That was the last man Logan had to be. Logan had a man dragging him down, still got another 10 yards. That is pretty impressive as the clock winds down in this first quarter of action. It looks like they're going to get at least one more play off. Ball is now on the Bergen side of the field on the 49. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, play action pass, deep drop to deep ball down the left sideline, and it is caught right at about the 15-yard line. The junior wide receiver Julian Zimmerman filling in for the injured player Jeremiah Alvarez. Julian Zimmerman stepping up in his role and making a huge play at the end of this first quarter. 2 seconds, 1 second. Sisler to Zimmerman, junior to junior, a huge play for this Ironman offense, not just in terms of yardage, in terms of momentum, to show that Bosco can execute their game plan on offense. Sisler to Zimmerman for about 35 yards right there.
And while perhaps the momentum isn't shifted completely in the Bosco direction, it is inching ever closer after plays like that. If the Bosco defense is being beat by the long ball, by the big yard gains in one play, that's what they should be doing themselves. And look, Zimmerman really laid out there, got a great catch. That's what's going to bring them. That's what's going to bring them to a score. Again, quarter one has ended. Bosco down 21-0, but in pretty good field position to start the second quarter.
You know, I was talking to the quarterback, Devin Sisler, the junior signal caller, interviewed him on the morning news yesterday, but beside that, he said we got to focus on taking deep shots. We got to get these skilled guys the ball, and right there, we've seen that's the second big play of Bergen. And welcome back to the booth. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Salvatore Noble. 21-0, Bergen over Bosco. Sisler throwing the interception on the second drive, but set up nicely right there by the Zimmerman reception of 35 yards. Not the ideal start for the Ironmen, huh, Sonny?
Not really, and you hear the cheers of We Love Zim coming in from the Iron Maniacs. They are still hyped up. They're not looking at the scoreboard. They're saying, hey, what's going on right now, and what they're seeing is what they like.
Here's Bush taking the handoff, running left, and he is pushing the pile forward to right about the 10-yard line. A herd of Bergen tacklers, the main man being Christian Gonzalez, senior middle linebacker number 10, leading the team in tackles. He's got 25 on the season. He also has an interception as well as a pass deflection. Christian Gonzalez, the middle linebacker for the Crusaders, can simply do it all. 11 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Logan Bush being the featured player on this offensive team. You know, right there, a little run, 6-yard run. That'll certainly help his yards per carry right there. There he is again, running up the middle, but he's met right away at the line of scrimmage by who else than Elijah Kinsler. We keep saying his name we're saying his name a lot tonight. I think that might be a theme for the rest of the game.
I mean, of course. However, Logan Bush is able to surge forward, pick up a yard or two. They're going to mark him down just at the 10-yard line, maybe even the 9-yard line, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a 3rd and short. And this Bosco offense, they really got to surge forward. They can't settle for a field goal with a score like this on the board. They got to surge forward. I mean, I just said it. Keep on going, Ironmen.
3rd and 2 from about the 9-yard line. Bobby May, slot receiver to his right. DeTrano motioning to the left side. Sisler gets the snap, hands it to Bush, and Bush running up the middle. People pushing the pile forward. Number 72, Alex Helu, the right guard. You see him right there, along with Pedro Valdez, number 50. And what will be the signal that the refs call? Will they give him a first down? No, it appears that Bosco is short of the line to gain. 4th and 1 from about the 9-yard line. Bosco came up short on the last time they were in the red zone. Didn't get any points. The missed field goal there by DeVere. 4th and 1, big play right here in the second quarter.
And Sisler goes straight back out. They said, we're not taking the foot off of the gas now. We need to score. 4th and 1. What do? You hand the ball off to Logan Bush, try to get one more yard?
Sisler under center, pushing the pile forward, and it looks like Sisler will have enough for the first down. And we await the signals.
They're going to call it
9 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in this second quarter, and the Iron Maniacs are getting a little excited, so you know what that means. They're moving those chains. Bosco picks up a pivotal first down right here. First and goal now from about the 6-yard line. Sisler using his legs to pick up the first down. Speaking of Sisler using his legs, he's got 11 carries on the season, 23 yards. Not quite the dual threat quarterback that they had last year, Nick Minicucci, the Delaware commit, but Sisler can certainly use him right there at picking up those first downs.
Versatile. That's what we like to see.
Here's Sisler, handing off to Logan Bush, running left, makes a man miss, and he is pushing the pile forward right about the 2-yard line. Big number 78, I alluded to him earlier, Kevin Garcia picking up a block for right there, picking up a block for Logan Bush. Bush running all over the place, man, this drive, and second and goal from about the 2-yard line. Let's see what Coach Iggy Urbina got his sleeve.
And what are they going to do now? You got 2nd and 2. You got 2 more downs. I mean, if you absolutely need it, you do have 3 more downs to just surge forward. 2 yards, Zoop. Do you just hand it off? Do you try some sort of trickery? Personally, I mean, you see I formation right here. You see Logan Bush behind. I think he's set to receive. I think he's going to dive in.
Here's Bush taking the handoff, running up the middle, and there's Gonzalez meeting him right about the line of scrimmage. I spoke about him earlier. Christian Gonzalez, the senior leading the team in tackles, stops Bush right there on a 2nd and goal, bringing up a 3rd and goal.
They're going to call that just about net zero on the carry. So it is going to be right back where they started, 3rd and 2. And a long 2, though. It is not simply a reach over. They need a good surge here.
Sisler will be in the shotgun. Bush to his right. Sisler looks to pass, throws over the middle, and it is incomplete. And we have no flag on the play. Oh, there is a flag on the play. Looks like Bobby Mays drew the pass interference call. That will bring up a first down for this Ironman right about the 1-yard line. A huge break right there. We saw Bosco's defense have unfortunate flags. Now Bergen a little guilty of the flag trouble. Bosco, 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line after Sisler looking for Mays on that last play.
And look, you'd get it done however you can. You get a fresh set of downs. You get 3 more, again, maybe even 4 more tries to do it again and again. All you need is 1 to work. 1 yard, surge forward.
Iron Maniacs chanting, you can't do that. No, you can't. Pass interference is not allowed in football. Here's Bush taking the handoff, running up the middle, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Will he get there? No. Logan Bush stopped by the senior defensive end, Anthony Morales of Bergen. Logan Bush, we've had a 2nd and goal from the 2, a 1st and goal from the 2, a 3rd and goal from the 2, and now a 1st and goal from the 1. Bush unable to get in the end zone. Now
This is now a 4th down, ladies and gentlemen. 4th and 2. See that we got off track a little bit, but now the Ironmen are faced with another important decision. They've tried run plays. They had a failed passing play. They got to get it in now.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, Larkin motioning. Sisler rolling out to the right, has Larkin in the flat, doesn't look to him. Sisler running up the middle, and he is stopped short. Looks like a fumble on the play, but nonetheless, Bergen with a huge stop on 4th down. Bosco had great opportunity to score, but this Bergen defense coming up with a stop that you may look back at this game and say, look, remember when there was 7 minutes and 27 seconds to go and Sisler could not get in the end zone, hit hard right as he was diving to try to cross that pylon.
And Sisler, with the end in sight, gets hit hard at the goal line, Soup. I mean hard. And that is sending a message. That hit reverberated through the whole crowd here supporting the Ironmen. Now Bergen, not the best field position, you would say, to start their next offensive drive. However, it is a big hit on this Bosco morale. Again, we were talking about morale, definitely straight back to the Bergen side.
I mean, like you said, it's not the ideal field position, but hey, if you stop him, I'm sure Vito Campanelli is happy that Bosco didn't score right there. I'm sure he'll be okay that they're starting at the 1-yard line right here. So Campanelli under center. Marcus Linder, the senior center right there for Bergen. Campanelli hands it off in the end zone. Sanders breaks Lester's tackle in the end zone. Sanders able to get out of the end zone a little bit, create a little space for this Bergen offense to work. Tackle right about the 4-yard line by number 27, Kyle Ramos.
And they're going to mark him down 2nd and 5 on the 6-yard line. And what is almost a safety quickly becomes into a fairly good yard gain. And now they're out of the end zone and ready to cook a little more.
Campanelli under center once more. Ball on the 6-yard line, 2nd and 5. Campanelli, long drop, and he is sacked from behind. Lamont Lester gets the safety for the Ironmen. Lamont Lester, the Monmouth commit, making that his 4.5 sacks on the season. Lester gets the Ironmen on the board, 2 points, but now with the safety, Bosco also gets the ball back. 6 minutes and 50 seconds. A huge momentum swing for the Ironmen right there.
And I would say 2 decisive plays. You said 727 is the number we're going to remember. How about 650 right there? Bringing up one of the weirder scores you've ever seen, 21-2. Ladies and gentlemen, now Bosco gets the ball back. That is a great play right there. It looks like whenever I say something's not happening on one play, it's happening on the next. I said, oh, no interception. Boom, interception. I said, hey, no more safety trouble. Boom, safety. Maybe I got to say, hey, Bosco doesn't get a touchdown next. And look, we'll see what happens after that.
I don't know, man. You might be the reverse jinx. Everyone's heard of the announcer's jinx.
Jinx.
Could there be a Salvatore Noble reverse jinx? Who knows?
Perhaps.
We'll see.
We shall see how the game progresses.
Anyway, Lester, let's get back to him after the latest sack. He's got 27 tackles. You can make an argument. He's been the heart and soul of this Bosco defense this year. Him and Jay Brown lead the team in tackles with 27. Like I said earlier, that was his 4.5 sack on the season. 2 tackles for loss. Lamont Lester, Monmouth commit. He's a captain, so you know he's a leader out there. Lamont Lester.
And look, I personally know how good of a leader he is. I actually had the privilege to throw shot put with him last spring. And look, he really is a great guy, a great leader. Far and above what any of us are capable of out there on the shot put field. He comes in, boom. And look, he's a great leader as well. And that's what they need here, this Bosco team that's really is ailing quite early here in the game. However, 6:50 left on the clock here in the second quarter, more than half the game to play. And look, if the Crusaders can put up 21 in one quarter, there's no reason the Ironman can't, right, Zoop?
No way. But let's take a look back to that Bosco drive on the previous play. Devin Sisler and Logan Bush teaming up right there. Sisler handed off to Bush. Logan Bush, numerous yards on that latest drive. Oh, so close to the end zone. Couldn't punch it in. But, hey, maybe it works out for the Ironmen benefit. They get 2 more points out of it. So if they get the touchdown, they got 9 instead of 7.
And, again, one of the weirdest scores you'll ever see here, ladies and gentlemen, as the ball is received.
And right there, Makai Allen making another play on special teams. I said it earlier when he returned the ball to the 35-yard line. Makai Allen, the freshman safety, he might be one of the most dangerous players on this Bosco team.
And again, we hear the chants coming again. He's a freshman. He's a freshman. And that's what he's doing. Coming in here early, we got another 3 years with him, right? We got another 3 years of this excellence. Look, it may not be a touchdown, but getting 15, 20 yards just off of receiving a kick, it doesn't hurt. Ain't that right, Zoop? It don't hurt.
No way. Allen doing his part thus far, getting Bosco good field position. Here's Sisler pitching it to Ian Adrian, the junior wide receiver, picks up a block from Bush and pushed out of bounds right about the 43-yard line. Now we're starting to see Bosco's offense pick up a little momentum. We've seen a couple different receivers, though, making some plays. We've seen Bobby Mays. We've seen Julian Zimmerman. We've seen Ian Adrian. And we've seen the running back, Logan Bush, do his thing. So Bosco's offense coming out with a little bit of firepower here in the second quarter, even though they haven't scored a touchdown or field goal yet.
And look, Logan Bush, a true team player. And even though he wasn't the one that got the ball off of that pitch, he had a great block, allowed for the picking up of a few extra yards. And Bosco's continuing to move those chains as we have, it looks like, an injury on the field, number 23.
Anthony Willis, the freshman. Anthony Willis, the cornerback. He has 5 tackles on the season. Hopefully he's not hurt too bad. We don't like to see injuries in football, but they are part of the game. So, Mr. Willis, hopefully you're all right.
We just hope everybody is safe. We're out here to have fun. It's always great to see big hits and whatnot. But look, there's a person receiving those hits. We don't like seeing people get hurt. It's part of the game, as you said, but we pray that he is okay. But it looks like he is good. He is up walking off the field. And we are going to resume, ladies and gentlemen. Here, Bosco has a 1st and 10 on the Bergen 44.
Sisler under center this time. Bush in the backfield. And we have flags.
What's going on now?
Another flag. A lot of confusion.
Is that going to be... I see motioning to the Bergen sideline that they got to get off the field.
And looks like it was just to put the ball back in play. Here we go. Sisler under center. Sisler, play action pass. Deep drop. Francis. Sisler's got all day in the pocket. Deep ball down the left side. And it is incomplete. Mays, the intended target, tried to come up with the catch right there in the double coverage. Number 5, the cornerback, Naeem Parrish, and number 1, Kaj Sanders, the two Bergen defenders right there. Sisler, even though that was an incompletion, what a throw. He threw that thing like 45, at least 45 yards.
I mean, it just absolutely aired it out deep. And Bobby, he got downfield quickly. He got his hands on the ball, but in and out with the two defenders. And we were talking about he's such a threat and probably the single biggest threat on the Bosco side. Of course, he's going to be double teamed all night.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, and we have whistles, a flag indicating a false start against the Ironmen. So that'll push the Ironmen 5 yards back, making that a 2nd and 15 from the Bergen 49-yard line with 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go. The score being 21-2.
21-2. And look, it is still relatively early in the game, but Bosco cannot keep slowing down the momentum, keep killing their momentum by flag after another. And it's not like these are arbitrary flags. This is false starts. This is encroachment on defense, offense, neutral zone infractions, that sort of thing. Sloppy play that just needs to be taken out if they want to win this game.
Here's Sisler communicating to his wide receivers, Mays, Long, and Zimmerman. Here's Sisler handing it off to the running back, and there he goes, tackled right at about the 48, 47-yard line of Bergen Catholic, bringing up a 3rd and long, a 3rd and about 13 right here for the Ironmen.
Yikes. Not the best predicament for this Ironman offense to be in. They're going to call it 3rd and 13.
Number
right.
20, Dante DeLuca, the latest rusher right there for the Ironmen. Plays a little defense too. Dante DeLuca. So Sisler will be in the shotgun. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in this second quarter. 3rd and 13 from the Bergen 47. Sisler gets the snap. Bergen rushes 5. Sisler to the left side. Caught by Mays. Pushed right out of bounds at the 40-yard line by a Bergen player, number 21, Jordan Thomas. Thomas got this one Sisler interception back in the first quarter. The sophomore pushes Mays out of bounds right about the 38-yard line, bringing up a 4th and about 8 in Bergen territory.
However, it is good to see a connection between Sisler and Mays starting to form. We've kind of had a lack of that so far in the year. And while, again, there hasn't been a touchdown as of yet, we see that deep ball being aired downfield. And now it's good to see a little bit of short passing as well.
4th and 5 from the 39. Another 4th down conversion maybe for Bosco. Here, Bergen sends the blitz. Sisler to Larkin over the middle, and he makes 2 men miss. A.J. Larkin, the sophomore, making a play, getting the ball down to the Bergen 25-yard line. Sisler to Larkin. We've seen A.J. Larkin featured more in this game. Obviously, they should be doing that because he's playing well tonight.
And it's great to see Larkin turn on those Jets, really pick up the yardage that this Bosco offense needed. Stayed on his feet as well. Got two shoestring tackles against him. However, he is able to spin out of those. He was eventually taken down by a shoestring tackle, but not before surging forward, picking up some extra yardage for this Bosco offense, and they much need it.
Sisler, quick throw over to the right, over to the left, caught by Julian Zimmerman, another wide receiver filling the place, stepping up here due to injuries. Back to Larkin for a second, though. But prior to this game, he had 4 receptions of 32 yards. But before I speak more about A.J. Larkin, it seems there's a flag on the play.
And that might negate any advance this Bosco offense has made. And Coach Leonte is not liking that. I mean, no coach likes a sloppy game. And Bosco has racked up yard after yard of penalties against them. And really, it's not the way to play. If you're trying to win a football game, down 21-2, it's not the way to play.
4 minutes and 54 seconds to go. Just taking a look at that scoreboard. Don Bosco Prep gift from the class of 1961. Thank you very much, the class of 1961. That scoreboard is looking great out here in Ramsey. So the Ironman Media Club just would like to say thank you for that great scoreboard you gifted us.
Only thing bad about it is that score on it right now.
Bush taking the handoff off the middle, pushing the pile forward to about the 25-yard line. I heard of Bergen tacklers right there. Irby Mason, Kinsler, Morales, and even Sanders right there. The 4 of them combined for a tackle right about the 25-yard line. Excuse me, right 26-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to call it a 2nd and short, 2nd and 1. Clock is ticking down. Remember, Bosco needs to capitalize before the half if they really want to stay in this, as they do receive the ball at the start of the second half of play, the third quarter.
4 minutes and 17 seconds left in this second quarter. We have confusion, but the next play will be a 2nd and 1 from Bergen's 26. Sisler and Bush, junior and senior. the backfield mates. Logan Bush, 9-yard carry right there. Going into the game, he had 266 rushing yards. I mean, if he keeps going the way he's at, he might beat that in this game.
Yeah. Why not?
Taking a look at this Bosco offensive line really quick. I mean, these guys are big. You got to call them out. The offensive line, I like to say they're like air conditioning. They're only noticeable if
it's not working.
They're only noticeable if they're not working. Thank you, Sal.
Gotcha.
So number 78, Kevin Garcia. Number 64, Rhett Morris. Number 50, Pedro Valdez. Number 72, Alex Helu. And number 74, Omari Francis, with Hunter Dutrano, number 81, the tight end next to Francis. But Bosco starting center, Burke Poland, is out with a concussion. Nonetheless, here's Sisler throwing over the middle, and it is caught by Mays right about the 15-yard line. Sisler going window shopping to Mays. Bobby Mays making some nice plays here for the Ironmen in this first half.
And really threading the needle down to they're going to call that the 13-yard line now for this Bosco offense. That is really good field positioning for them. They need to capitalize here, though. They missed a field goal, and they were not able to convert from the 1-yard line. They can't let that be a continuous trend. They got to capitalize here however they can.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun. Bush behind him. Devin Sisler hands it to Bush. Now bounces left. Logan Bush, a nice ankle breaker, and he is in. Touchdown, Bosco. Logan Bush with the first offensive points for the night. Not total points because of the Leicester safety. Logan Bush, the 5th rushing touchdown on the season. There he is. Logan Bush racked up numerous offers going into his senior year. Logan Bush putting Bosco back into this game, 21-8, 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go in this second quarter.
And look, we've been talking about it all night long. Logan Bush, we were expecting him to turn it up here tonight. He has been the go-to man, especially in terms of being in the red zone. He did great last year. He's doing great this year. They really are going to need to keep relying on him in order to capitalize effectively when they have the opportunity. And with that extra kick, up and good. It is now 21-9. Bergen now still has the lead. Of course, Bergen set to receive the ball. 3 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock. They can see what they can do. However, this Bosco defense has a big thing to do, right? If they can get a stop quick, there is still ample time, as they still have timeouts, to march down this field and score again.
Looking at that offensive drive, though, for Bosco, Sisler certainly looking good despite the 1 interception. I mean, you've seen his arm talent thus far. The going window shopping to Mays before the Bush touchdown. Deep balls to Zimmerman. Larkin hitting Larkin underneath. Sisler, despite the on paper, the bad numbers, 1 touchdown of 6 interceptions, certainly showing that he's no joke. Devin Sisler playing well thus far in the first half of this Ironman offense.
And of course, and while he hasn't made very many balls downfield to Bobby Mays, he keeps trying him. He says, look, I know they got him double teamed, but I keep trying. And I'll tell you, that dot that he had right over here on the left side of the field in the end zone to Bobby Mays, absolute dart, absolutely right on the mark. Unfortunately, Bobby Mays was not able to pull it in, but I think they just got to keep trying that every.
So the Iron Maniacs, I'm sure you're
play.
picking them up through our headsets. The Iron Maniacs doing their signature Bosco chant. I mean, if you go to Bosco and you don't know that chant, I think there might be something wrong with you. I'm not going to lie. That Bosco chant has been a staple of a Bosco, whether you're there or not, you graduated or not. Bosco chant, everybody knows it. I mean, even some of my friends that don't go to Bosco, they're like, dude, you got to teach me this chant. It is awesome. Nonetheless, 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go here, 21-9 the score after Bush's 8-yard touchdown. DeVere's kick is up, and it is down the left side of the field into the end zone for a touchback. Anthony Perotti, the junior kick return special man, 175 kick return yards on the season, catches in the end zone for a touchback. So, after the Bosco touchdown, Bergen looks to answer, even though last time Campanelli was sacked in the end zone by number 9 senior captain Lamont Lester.
So we got 21 points in a row from Bergen. 9 points in a row from Bosco. In the weirdest assortment of way to score points. You get a touchdown off of a safety, right? One of the weirder ways to score in this game of football. Now, what can Bergen do?
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun, rolling left, screen pass to Perotti. There he goes. He gets a couple blocks from the offensive line all the way down to the 38-yard line. Anthony Perotti, I just said that he's featured a lot on the special teams, 175 kick return yards, but he's also a threat as a wide receiver, the junior. He's got 15 catches, 120 yards. He averages about 8 yards a catch, but I'm going to stop talking about Perotti because Campanelli's already got the ball. Handed off to Dante Kane right about the 41-yard line. Kane and Perotti right there, back-to-back positive yards for this Bergen Catholic offense.
And this clock is continuing to tick down. Now 3 minutes, under 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, here. Bergen is really on this hurry-up offense as they approach midfield. They're really trying to capitalize off of the short time. However, they do have an important decision to make because if they score quickly, Bosco may have ample time to score as well.
Here's Campanelli handed off to Sanders, and he's met by 3 different Bosco players in the backfield. Number 95, Aiden Horodnik, number 44, Robert Eakins, and number 9, Lamont Lester Jr. Right there, Bosco, 3rd and 6. They get a big stop, bringing up that yardage to gain on the Bergen 42-yard line. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this second quarter. Campanelli now in the shotgun, motioning Perotti. Campanelli gets the snap from Linder, looking over the left, steps up. He's got all day, and he is. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Porter. Mackay Allen dishing out the devastating hit right there. Porter, the intended target, was able to catch it, but couldn't get the feet down in time, bringing up a 4th down and 6 with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go in this first half.
And look, we were talking about it, and we're going to keep talking about it. Porter is the #1 target, and for good reason, right? However, Bosco, it looks like they found out, look, we guard this guy, we're going to be able to really take away the majority of power that Bergen has in their wide receiver core. So, look, you pay attention to him, you get him out of bounds, don't let him get his feet down. Clock is stopped at 2:09, but it is now a 4th and 6, they're calling it.
4th and 6. Bosco takes
Big
the
play
timeout after Bergen lined up to go for it. Surprisingly, on their own 42-yard line. Like you just said, 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Coach Dan Sabella wants to get the defensive in order. Burns the first time out of the half right there. Bosco looking to get the ball back. They do get the ball to start the second half after playing defense first, getting the quick 3 and out. Looking to do what Andy Reid likes to do in the NFL. Andy Reid, the Kansas City Chiefs, their philosophy has been over the past couple of years during their pretty much dynasty. Score at the end of the first half and then score in the beginning of the second half. Will we see that in Ramsey? The Ironmen might be getting the ball back right here.
I'll tell you what, there's one thing for certain. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. That's what Coach Sabella wants to see. And look, we talked about it before the game. They're playing angry right now. They're really harnessing their anger into this power. They are fighting hard.
Here's Campanelli looking over the right. Deep ball down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for number 21, Jordan Thomas, and a late flag comes in. Look at the Bosco sideline. They are irate. They cannot believe this call made.
Absolutely furious, especially with the late nature of that call. The head was not turned around on the defender. However, there was no way, shape, or form pass interference. He didn't have a hand on the intended receiver. They're calling that pass interference, and that right there, look, we're talking about important time stats. 2:04 right there, ladies and gentlemen, only about 2 minutes left on the clock. But that is a big play for this Bergen offense. Even though no play was made, flag trouble by Bosco. That's going to give them the first down, it seems.
First down for Bergen.
Wow.
Jordan Thomas, the intended target for Bergen. Got, like I mentioned earlier, he had the interception in the first quarter, plays a little offense too. Thomas able to draw the flag on the Ironmen as the Bergen Catholic Crusaders now move the ball into the Ironmen territory right about the 43-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, I think that's going to be a big topic of discussion in the locker room at half for this Bosco team. Stay out of flag trouble. It's killing them.
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun, looking to the flat, finds Kane, and it is passes a little low. Intended for Kane, like I just said, incomplete, bringing up a 2nd and 10 from the Bosco 43-yard line.
2:01, only 2 seconds come off the clock with that failed play. As he said, 2nd and 10. Still outside of field goal range unless they got Justin Tucker back there on their team, and we don't know about it, unbeknownst to us. What they're going to have to do now, charge forward. Get at least within field goal range. I think they have enough time to march down the field and get a touchdown, but we shall see what they're capable of.
Kane had the 3rd touchdown of the game for the Crusaders, the intended target on the last play. And Coach Vito Campanelli looking to talk it over with his son, calls a timeout right there before the 2nd down. Bergen calls their first timeout of the half, allowing Bosco to talk it over. See what they're going to do to stop this Bergen offense. We've seen them throw it, we've seen them run it, and we've actually seen them run it and throw it successfully.
Yeah.
Campanelli, 2 touchdowns, Kane 1 touchdown. Bosco's defense looking to step it up here at the end of the first half.
And look, the Crusaders are really thriving on all kind of meanings of the word. However, defensively, the one thing that I think they need to cut down on, I mean, both teams, the flags, right? That's the flag trouble both of them need to get into. Bergen, I mean, it's disproportionately so against the Bosco side. However, both teams need to cut that out. And I think, Zupi, you tell me, do you think that's going to be a big topic of discussion in the halftime report? Do you think when Sabella gets his team together in the locker room, do you think he's going to be saying, hey, guys, you're doing great, keep doing what you're doing? You think they're going to be talking about, hey, we got to keep this clean.
Oh,
if we're going to win, I think we got to keep this
How
clean.
could it not be? I mean,
there you go.
I mean, the Bosco defense, we've said it earlier, they begin hurt by the big plays and the big flags, too.
There you go. I mean, right there you saw pass interference, get out of a fresh set of down. Second and 10.
Campanelli, 5-step drop in the pocket, chased by Thomas and and throws it to the flat. Anthony Perotti catches right about the 35-yard line. Tackled by Kyle Ramos. Ramos, the junior linebacker, 25 tackles on the season, make that number 26 or 27. Can't remember if he had a tackle earlier. 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Campanelli, though, hurrying into the line, gets the snap, hands it off to Kane, running up the middle, and he will have a first down on the play.
And might I just add, that last play was a great job. I got it. Look, I got to give credit where credit is due. Great job by Campanelli for saying, hey, look, I'm getting flushed out of the pocket. He's backpedaling. However, he does find an open man in the flat on the left, able to get it forward, and boom, now they got another first down, moving forward.
1 minute and 23 seconds to go. Campanelli running over the left, chased by Ramos and pushed out of bounds right at about the 25, 27-yard line. Kyle Ramos got the tackle on the latest play, pushing him out of bounds.
And that's going to stop the clock. However, there is only a minute and 18 seconds left. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, it is 21-19. This Bosco team is in a whole lot of flag trouble. However, they've kept it clean the last few plays, and they got to keep doing so if they need to stop this Crusader team from marching down the field before the quarter ends.
That latest 3-yard scramble will bring up a 2nd and 7 from the Bosco 26-yard line. Kane in the backfield, Perotti and Porter to Campanelli's left, and Naeem Parrish to Campanelli's right, and we have whistles all over the place. And both teams are confused. They don't know where it's coming from. Neither do I, so we'll wait.
And it looks like this Bergen team is being marched back.
A false start, most likely the
Look at that.
most likely the indication.
I'll take it.
Brings up a 2nd and 11 from the 31-yard line for this Bergen Catholic offense. 1 minute, 18 seconds to go. Campanelli will be in the shotgun. Same formation as the previous play. Porter and Perotti to his left. Parrish to his right. Campanelli in the shotgun. Kane to his right. Campanelli gets the snap, looking to the left for Porter. Finds Perotti over the middle, and he is unable to catch it. Number 30, the sophomore linebacker, Gino Greco, with the coverage. Perotti unable to corral the pass, bringing up a 3rd and 12. With 1 minute and 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Again, with that incompletion, the clock does stop, so not another timeout having to be burned or a knee taken. However, a 3rd and I would say long. It's going to be about a 3rd and 12 coming up. Bergen's got a big next 2 plays, I would say. I'd say they go for this if they don't get it. They got to go for the 4th down. I don't think they just kick a field goal. However, we'll see if they can get it here.
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun. Dropping back the lefty slinger, throwing it deep down the left side for Perotti, and it is caught. Touchdown, Bergen. Luca Cutia, his 2nd big play of the night. The senior wide receiver, a 35-yard reception on previously in the game. He gets the big 36-yard reception, touchdown reception right there. Dom Campanelli, let me tell you, he is certainly playing well tonight in Ramsey. The score being 27-9, Bergen over Bosco. Campanelli, 3 touchdowns in this first half alone. I mean, can you ask for a better start from an offense?
I mean,
4 touchdowns in 1 half. They're on pace for 8 touchdowns in the game, for gosh sake.
For crying out loud, Zoop. I will say, Cosgrove, one-on-one man coverage down the field. That's just a great throw and a great catch. Great chemistry. One-on-one, you got to stop the big plays. I said, look, this is going to be a big one, 3rd and 12. They got it done. Now with that extra point kick through, up and good. It is 28-9, Bergen over Bosco. However, Bosco does get the ball back. 1 minute, 6 seconds. They're going to have to march down the field. Got to use some timeouts, see what they can, lemons, make them into lemonade. There's a lot of lemons right now. They got very short time to make a fresh batch of lemonade, man.
Speaking of Luca Cutia, the senior the senior wide receiver. He was honored before the game, same as number 49 on this Bosco defense, number 49, Matt Quill, the senior. So the both of them, let me give you a little context for you real quick, fans at home. This game is being sponsored by the greatest American rivalry, which it's sponsored by the United States Army. So the past 2 days, the Army has been at Bergen and Bosco. A trap bar deadlift competition has been going on. But with that, this sponsorship recognizes the highest GPA on each team. Number 49 on Bosco, Matt Quill, the scholar of the team, the recipient honored before the game at about 6 o'clock with his family on the field. And joining him was the guy who just caught that touchdown, number 6, Luca Cutia, high scholar, making high big-time plays. Here's Allen catching about the 1-yard line. Makai Allen dancing down the left sideline, tiptoeing out of bounds, and we have a flag. Looks like to be a block in the back by Bosco, moving him back with 59.6 seconds to go here in this second quarter.
And even though there's less than a minute left, Bosco is still being hurt by this flag trouble. And a ball taken all the way down to about the 30-yard line. So not terrible, but, you know, it helps. Now as the field position is going to be brought back, probably going to be about, what are they going to mark about? Just about the 20-yard line? And I mean, Soup, do you take a knee here or do you try for a few shots?
I mean, down 3 touchdowns, 19, sorry. The safety's throwing me off, man, looking at this
I
scoreboard.
know, it's a weird score to play with,
28 9. I'm used to just saying 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. So that flag by Bosco right there, the block in the back when Allen was returning the punt, brings him all the way to about the 15-yard line. Sisler will be in the shotgun, so let's see what Bosco's going to cook up here with 1 minute to go in this first half. Sisler hands the ball off to Bush, running behind Kevin Garcia, tackled right about the 14-yard line by number 15, Anthony Morales. I mean, I've said his name a lot so far, senior defensive end. You guys know the drill, playing well here in this first half. I would like to give a quick shout out to Mr. E, the moderator of the media club, currently holding his baby. Look how cute she is. I mean, Mr. E, father a year maybe? Is that what we're feeling?
Well, look, Mr. E, we really got to give him credit. He really has turned this media club around. I mean, look, I heard there's about 4,100 of you guys watching at home, and we're thankful all of you to be here, and none of this could have happened without Mr. E and the media club as a whole. Anthony Proya, ZQ Photos, you got Joey Toronto, you got LED Walkie back there. I mean, we make a great team.
15 seconds to go. Bush takes the, DeLuca takes the handoff running right. Fumbles, but they signal he's down by contact. 11.6 seconds to go after DeLuca's handoff.
And some good yardage on that play, I will say. Got the first down. They are going to actually run out the clock, and that looks like that is going to be it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about end of this first half of action. Bosco down 28-9. Zoop, tell me a little bit about what we've seen.
I mean, it's been the Dom Campanelli show thus far in Ramsey. 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards passing. Cutia, Porter, Kane ran a touchdown. I mean, this Bergen offense has been very lethal. Bosco's defense, though, was able to get the safety, 9 unanswered points before the Cutia touchdown. I mean, Bosco, the flag trouble has definitely hurt them. Sisler, though, looking strong, throwing outside of the 1 interception in the first quarter, second drive of the game. Looking strong, making some throws down the field. Bobby Mays, the leading receiver. Bergen on the score, up ahead on the scoreboard, 28-9, going into halftime, though.
And I will say, even though Bosco is down and has given up 28 points, the defense has shown a few instances of brilliance. First drive of the game, they were able to go 3 and out against the offense, and then we had that sack for the safety.
Stay tuned, though. Even though it's halftime, zipping with Zoop. Nick Zoopy, that's me. We're going to be interviewing some alumni, joining me in the booth. Stay tuned. Halftime coverage for you right here in Ramsey. 28-9, Bergen ahead of Bosco in the 79th meeting between these two historic schools.
Don't go anywhere, folks.
What's up, guys? It's halftime, 28-9, but we're going to have some entertainment for you. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Robert O'Neill, class of 2019, Bosco grad. How you doing, Robert?
I'm great. Happy to be here. Bosco, Bergen. There's really not much more you could ask for as an alumnus.
So, obviously, we're going to talk about the game a little bit. 28-9, ex-football player like yourself. What are you seeing out there, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a hard-fought game. I mean, any Bosco Bergen game, this is the game you remember. Anyone who put on this jersey really knows this is the game you don't forget. They don't like us. We don't like them. Let's go out there and just, give them all we got. It's an amazing game. I think it's hard fought. I think Bosco's got some stuff to definitely clean up. I mean, we were on the 1-2 yard line. Definitely got to punch in. If we punch that in right there and maybe stop a touchdown, the score looks a little different. But I think Bosco's right in there. Definitely got to stop the pass. But, we're there. A little coach change at half. Hard fought effort. You can count on that from Don Bosco Prep.
Also played lacrosse when he was here. Rob, tell me about the lacrosse program at Bosco.
Yeah, lacrosse was great. It was awesome. It was a good time. Been playing lacrosse a while. Playing football and lacrosse was amazing. Both great experiences. Couldn't really ask for anything much more. But football at Don Bosco Prep is just something special. I mean, Friday night here, you see the stands behind me. You see everyone here. You got, alumni coming back and everything. Friday night lights. I mean, that's something you probably think about. I still remember the last time I took off the shoulder pads for the last time. It's always just something special. You can play every other sport again as you graduate, but you really can't play football again.
I mean, speaking of Friday Night Lights, can you describe what some of the emotions are like as a football player playing in such a big game? I mean, this is the 79th meeting between these two schools, a long history. Can you share some of the emotions?
Yeah, I mean, I could go back to my junior year. We were playing Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco Prep, Bergen Catholic, Friday night, live on ESPN. It's a high intensity game. You're worried. You got everyone in the crowd, but again, you just got to lean back on your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon walkthrough, looking back, saying, "Hey, I'm prepared for this." Entrusting in the coaching staff, as Don Bosco Prep always has a great coaching staff, and usually you got some hard, dedicated alumnus on that staff, and you just got to say, hey, I'm ready to hear, this is what we were lifting in the summer for. This is what we were lifting in, the winter and the spring, running, conditioning, everything. And you're like, this is the time. You got to just seize the opportunity, seize the moment. And if, you play one player, you play 100 plays, got to go out there and give it all.
So obviously playing football here, do you have one game in particular that stood out to you the most? I mean, obviously Bosco Bergen speaks to itself.
Yeah.
Been speaking about it all night. But do you have the one game in particular, like when you think of your Bosco football career, it's this game?
Absolutely. It was DePaul Catholic at DePaul. They were the #1 ranked team in the state. And, full disclosure, I was fully special teams player, kickoff, kick return, punt return, all that stuff. And I remember first play of the game, we go out there, we get a great kick by our kicker, who's now at Rutgers, Guy Fava, and going down there, and we just hit it, and I took the guy down. I think it was inside the 15-yard line, maybe like the 14, 13, something like that. I was able to just get the tackle, pin him back, and I'm not sure if it was 3 and out, but definitely stop him. No points on that play, and was able to just have a few tackles there on kickoff and some other few plays, just taking care of my assignments and other things, and we were able to put up, I think, 45, maybe even 45-plus points on the game, and we beat them. They were #1 team in the state, and it was just one of those times where, offense was playing great, defense was playing great. We were taking care of it on special teams, and it was just one of those moments that you'll never forget. It was a great game, and we went there, got it done, and moved up the rankings and continued our success for the season.
Firing on all cylinders that night, huh?
It was definitely a good time. Can't complain.
So we're gonna pivot outside of football for a sec. What do you think makes going to Bosco so special, just as a whole, outside of sports? What do you think makes it so special?
Yeah, I think it's just a special place to be. I mean, obviously sports at Don Bosco Prep are an important thing, but I think the academics and the other experience and extracurriculars, clubs, activities, whatever it may be, just the alumni network, everything is just so amazing. I know so much of the stuff that I've been involved in would not be there without Don Bosco Prep. The college readiness, everything. I mean, I just graduated college in the spring, and a lot of, especially, just success of being able to acclimate to the college classroom would just not be there without, some of those keystone teachers, such as like Mr. O'Connor, Mr. Kilduff, Mr. Campbell.
Still there, by the way. I had all 3 of them.
All still there. Yeah, it was awesome. So, I mean, it's just those guys, people like that, and everyone, and all the teaching staff, and everyone who runs an extracurricular to Career Day or the Leo program or the DECA Business Club. Those are the things you're really at Don Bosco for. Sports is always awesome, but the whole it's a 360 experience, no matter what your diet is and what you're interested in.
So you mentioned Leo and DECA. This Leo program, it's I would say one of the most important things Bosco runs right now. This guy was in the first cohort. Rob, tell me about the Leo program real quick.
Yeah, the Leo program was awesome. You're able to, have this startup type environment experience, really learned about business firsthand. I was in the inaugural cohort. It was awesome. I was the president of the DECA Business Club for a year or so. And it's just great. Some stuff like that, it's just awesome. It just pushes you outside your boundaries. You're not used to it. And that's really something that you just don't get in the classroom, and probably doesn't happen at your regular school. And I think Don Bosco Prep is so special, and we have the resources and support to really expand those opportunities as such. And I mean, they're just getting better year by year. I almost get jealous as the years go on.
So we're seeing some Bosco players run out behind us, coming out of the locker room. Second half almost starting, about 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the second half starts. Rob, what's it like being back coming back? Took the train in from the city today.
Yep.
What's it like to be back in Ramsey, man? Granite Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exhilarating place. I think nowhere in Bergen County and nowhere maybe in the tri-state area even. I really think especially in Big North football, nowhere has a place like this. I mean, look at the stands behind us. They just go back so many rows, to the 10, to the, to the 10. You got, more than a couple thousand people here. It's invigorating. It's awesome. It's great to see some of the coaches that were still around when you were back there. The maroon jerseys, white helmets, nothing gets better. It's really just an amazing time. Everyone's so welcoming when you come back to campus. I mean, you see Savio Hall now fully functioning, all 3 floors. You see everything they got going. I mean, I don't know where else you see a high school that has, 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings, and then plus an amazing, I don't even want to say field, stadium up top. There's really nothing else like it. It's the venue of the venues for high school football in the Northeast. I think maybe you might be able to get something better in Texas.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I mean,
that's
come on.
about it.
I mean, just look around. I mean, Bergen doesn't have lights. Joe's doesn't have lights.
No.
I mean,
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nothing beats it. There's
nothing.
a movie named Friday Night Lights for crying out loud.
Yeah, movie and TV show, but that's a little before next time. So that's all
right. All right. So before I let you go, I do this segment. It's called Dip and Win Soup. Bunch of rapid fire questions, Bosco related, of course. You ready? You ready?
Let's go. Let's
Whatever answers come to the top of your head, tip of your tongue, you're ready. Just shout it out there.
Yep.
You ready? All righty. First question. Favorite cafeteria food?
Ooh, cookies and ice cream. Pre-Savio Hall, though.
Okay. Next question. Favorite teacher at Bosco?
Ooh, Mr. O'Connor.
Give me one word to describe the Iron Maniacs.
Rowdy.
Favorite Salesian at Bosco, if you could pick?
Brother, now father Sazika, but that's how I could date myself. He was brother Sazika back when I was there.
Name 3 people you ate lunch with.
Christian Dremel, Sean Moran, and Jake Tarantino.
And lastly, St. John Bosco.
Pray for us.
Rob, thanks again, man. For those of you who missed the intro, class of 2019, Robert O'Neill. Second half starts soon. Be right back.
Thanks for having me. Awesome. Fun time. Right? Yeah, that was fun. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, that was good.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Salvatore Noble, joined by the illustrious, the redoubtable Nicholas Zuppi, here for some second half action. Don Bosco Prep Ironmen taking on the Bergen Catholic Crusaders. Bosco now down 28-9. However, they are receiving the ball to start the second half, this third quarter of action. Zuppi, tell us what we've seen thus far and what we can expect if we want an Ironman victory.
I mean, I'm going to say the same sentence I said at the end of the first half. It's been the Dominic Campanelli show. I mean, 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards, coming in, He had 11, but now he's got 14. So now the touchdown interception ratio is 14-3. We've seen Kaj Sanders for Bergen making plays on defense and offense, running the ball, breaking up passes. But for Bosco, Sisler threw an interception in the first quarter, but he has bounced back very nicely, throwing passes to Mays, Zimmerman, Larkin, and even Jake Long caught one. So Devin Sisler throwing the ball around well, and Devin Sisler. Logan Bush scored the lone touchdown for the Ironmen with a Lamont Lester safety. So that right there is the first half in a nutshell, with a lot of flags, by the way.
I mean, I would say probably the most exciting play for me. I mean, I love it when the referees do the walk like the Egyptian type dance, the safety. You don't see that very much. You really don't see that very much. And look, ladies and gentlemen, one of the weirder scores you can have by way of safety plus touchdown. Now, Bosco starting with the ball deep in their own territory at about the 16-yard line.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun, pass over to and it's picked off, but we got whistles. Flag on the play. Looks like he'll be on Bergen.
And ladies and gentlemen,
encroachment on Bergen, 1st and 5 up and coming for the Ironmen.
And ladies and gentlemen, we were talking before the half extensively about flag trouble for both of these teams. Bosco, we've got to clean it up. Bergen's got to clean it up. And look at that, a pretty relevant conversation as right there, first play of the second half of action, we get a flag.
11 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock. 28-9. Bosco in the huddle. 1st and 5 from the 21-yard line. Sisler's not on the field. We got Wildcat again. Larkin will be the Wildcat quarterback. Bush in the backfield with him. Larkin motioning Allen. Larkin takes it himself, running up the middle, and he's tackled right at about the 28-yard line. A.J. Larkin, the sophomore, a nice catch in the first half. Bosco, offensive coordinator Iggy Urbina, doing some trickery here in the second half.
And a good bit of deception. I mean, even deceiving our cameraman over there on the tower, looking one way. Oh, no, we're going this way. Wait, gotcha. We're actually going with that first one we said. And a nice little pickup. Now they got a 1st and 10 on their own 26. And the Ironmen very quickly move those chains.
Move those chains. The Iron Maniacs are chanting, moving those chains. So Sisler will be in the shotgun. He gets the snap, hands it off to Bush. Logan Bush hit hard right about the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a positive gain, though. Logan Bush scored the lone touchdown, as I said earlier. He's been the featured player thus far offensively for the Ironmen.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, you said for Campanelli, his ratio from touchdown to interception just keeps ameliorating with each successive touchdown, now 3 on the day. However, it is kind of the opposite for Sisler. He now moves to 1 and 5, I believe it is, 1 touchdown for 5 interceptions. Unfortunate, but Sisler is going to have to keep going to the passing play if he wants to pick up some
Sisler in the shotgun, a
damage.
Bergen blitz, and it is picked off. Big number 99 for Bergen, tackled right about the 15-yard line. Christian Gonzalez got a hand in there, and big number 99 for Bergen. The defensive tackle gets the interception.
And just like the pick that Minicucci threw coming out of the gate of the second half during the state final game last year, that is a big blow early on in the second half against this Bosco offense. Tipped up in the air, leads to an interception. We are talking about kind of killing momentum and just the importance of momentum in this game. And that right there, that ain't it. I mean, that's the simplest way you can put it for this Bosco offense. That ain't it. Deep in your own half.
And with 10 minutes and 37 seconds to go after Sisler's second interception of the night, Gonzalez flagged for the taunting. Will move the ball back 15 yards.
However, still a first down and a turnover for Bosco, and still going to be first down for Bergen Catholic.
Not the ideal start coming out of the
No.
half for the Ironman fans.
Far from it.
I mean, Bergen brought the house. Defensive coach Greg Toll, longtime Bosco coach, had something dialed up and certainly worked right there, getting the turnover.
I mean, look, you get a hand up in the air, you bat it up. Of course, when the ball lands, you don't know where it's going to be, and it went right into the hands of a Crusader. And there you go. And
So-
now a personal foul called on Don Bosco, so this game goes straight back to dirty.
So they get both Sisler and Gonzalez for the taunting penalties. They offset. Bergen will still have a first down and goal from the Bosco 9-yard line with 10 minutes and 37 seconds to go in this second half. Third quarter, sorry. Numerous substitutions right there for the Ironmen.
Changing units, it seems. On the 9-yard line, Bergen will start. I mean, 9 yards until the goal. That's pretty prime positioning with more than 10 minutes in the third quarter still left to play. Plenty of time in the clock, fresh set of downs.
Campanelli under center, pitches it to Sanders, running right, and Lamont Lester unable to tackle him, but there's Greco and Allen coming up with the tackle. Sanders right about the 5-yard line. Seems like Sanders is hurt. Never mind, I'm sorry, just got up awkwardly.
That's going to be about a 2nd and 5.
And we have an injured Bosco player down on the field. Seems to be number 18, the freshman Makai Allen. Special teams standout. Hope he's okay. Head trainer John Gorman. And 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Welcome back to the booth. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Salvatore Noble. 28-9. Bergen, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Looking to make the score a lot to a little at this point.
Yeah, and Bergen really surged ahead in the first half, and they're looking to really add to that. You said yourself 4 touchdowns first half. They got to continue that speed, perhaps get to 56 points in the second half. However, they don't even need that to win at this rate. Bosco, one thing they got to do. What do they got to do? They got to score. They got to put points on the board. 2 things. Points on the board, stop the other team from putting points on the board. It's that simple. And they got to play fair. Their flag trouble is getting both teams in just whole heap of just distress, and they really got to clean that up if they wanted to continue to thrive, both teams.
Allen got up okay, and we're back to the action, folks. Campanelli will be under center, pitches to Sanders running left now, chased by Lester, and Lamont Lester able to tackle him behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle for loss with Greco and another guy.
And add that to the TFL column for Lester. That is an important metric, ladies and gentlemen, because that's pushing them back even more. What was a 2nd and 5 now becomes a 3rd and, what are they going to mark it as?
3rd and 5.
Third
and goal.
10. Look at that. 3rd and 10, ladies and gentlemen.
3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. Matt Acapinti in there as well, the sophomore linebacker. 15 total tackles on the season for Acapinti, along with Lester. Campanelli in the shotgun, looking over the middle, stepping up in the pocket, now running. Here's Lester on the hit, and it is incomplete. Campanelli's pass was intended for Porter. Acapinti with the coverage. Lester and Brown, though, team up on the hit, bringing up a 4th down and goal from the 10-yard line.
And it looks like a clean play, no flags on the play before, during, or after. So that's going to stand. However, now an interesting decision. Do they kick, put it up 31, hopefully 31 to 9, or do they just go for it? Say, hey, I mean, there's 2 sides of the conversation. Am I up 28-9 and I want to add to that in chance? Or do I want to add just 3 to it and kind of play it safe? Looks like they're going to play it safe here, ladies and gentlemen.
Gaetano Bartolomeo, the kicker for Bergen, the 27-yard field goal awaiting. Bartolomeo's kick is right down the middle. So that makes the score 31-9. 9 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Bosco's defense with a nice stop after the Sisler interception.
I mean, a really good job getting it done. We saw the Bergen defense earlier in this game stop the Bosco offense at the 1-yard line. Now Bosco doing something similar, stopping. I believe they started the drive at the 9-yard line, so really doing a good job on Bosco's part to negate the damage that can be dealt. But we were also talking about earlier in the game about points off of turnovers. They were able to score off an interception before, able to really score off of this one as well. Maybe not as many points, but still able to capitalize.
I mean, Bergen has more points off turnovers than Bosco does on the scoreboard. Bergen's got 10 off turnovers. Bosco's got 9 on the scoreboard. So Bosco's offense, although they moved the ball well in the first half, just unable to convert.
And that leads to the predicament they're in right now.
31-9, down 22. If I did that math right. Right? 31-9?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, 22.
You're good.
Bartolomeo waiting to kick off for the 5th time tonight already. Busy man for the kicker. 3 extra points.
All good things for him, though.
Number 49, Matt Quill right there for the Ironmen. Bartolomeo's kick is caught right at about the 3-yard line by Cosgrove. Connor Cosgrove making a couple men miss, tackled right at about the 28-yard line. So Bosco will start their second drive of the second half right there.
And I really got to commend Cosgrove for the job he's done this evening, really keeping Bosco in the game from early on in a drive. I don't know what he's averaging on the year nor in this game, but it does seem to us that he's doing pretty well. He's had 1 or 2 over 15 and a consistent about 10. You see he's kind of diving, even if he does get caught early on in the reception and the initial run, he is able to stay on his feet and kind of stumble forward. Again, now they're out to the 23-yard line instead of being back at like the 10 or 15. Good job, Cosgrove.
We got more Wildcat. Larkin, the lone man in the backfield, fakes the throw to Bush, and A.J. Larkin running down the left sideline, chased by Kinsler and Gonzalez. Larkin runs out of bounds right about the 31-yard line. Looks like to have enough for a Bosco first down.
And the little man, third time he is being utilized, Larkin is, the sophomore. First few times, I mean, it's interesting. You think a Wildcat is kind of a thing that you use once or twice in a game. Now we're seeing it 3 times, and we are only 3 minutes into the third quarter of action. Do you think they're going to continue to use this, or do you think Bergen's going to catch on fairly quickly and just put an end to it?
I mean, it's been a successful strategy thus far. I would not be surprised if Bosco does not go away from it.
But back to Sisler we are now.
Sisler gets the bad snap, and he just has to fall down right about the 26-yard line. Valdez, the center, unable to make a good snap right there. Sisler bringing up a third and about 5.
However, good job by Sisler to recover that what could have been a disastrous fumble. I mean, you're so close to your own end zone, you don't want to scoop and score. So a good job by him just to cover the ball, secure it, get right down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. They're calling it on the 28?
Third
and 5.
Third and 5 from the 28.
Lost a few yards on that play.
Sisler will be in the shotgun. Larkin to his right, Long to his left, as well as Zimmerman. Sisler looking deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Double team on Mays.
Flag on the play?
Sanders and Thomas, the 2 defenders on Bobby Mays. We've seen that double team combination a lot. Mays unable to corral the deep ball from Sisler. 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go. That'll bring out the Ironman punting unit.
And one thing, Zupi, and I'm interested in what you think about this. The majority of downfield plays with Bobby Mays going up, first of all, he's getting double team. And number 2, he's not getting any pass interference called against the defenders on him. So do you think that's just good, clean defense played by the Bergen Catholic team?
I mean, if the refs aren't calling a flag, then it must be clean.
Must be so.
Yeah. Cosgrove, the senior kick returner and cornerback, is the punter for the Ironmen with the injury to Jack Donnelly. Cosgrove's kick takes a nice Bosco bounce out of bounds right about the 46-yard line of Bergen. So 8 minutes and 1 second to go. Bergen Catholic looks to get back-to-back scores here to open the second half.
So while not the best punt, still a good enough punt in order to get it over midfield. However, did not take the most fortuitous bounce for Bosco. So they're going to get the ball. They're going to mark it at about the 46-yard line, I believe, Zoop? Yeah, 46-yard line they're going to mark it.
46-yard line.
Crusaders take over.
1st and 10.
Bosco down 3 scores. Over 3 scores, I guess. Well, you get an extra, if you get a 2-point conversion.
Campanelli under center. Marcus Linder, the senior. Campanelli hands it off to Russell. Russell runs to right about the 45-yard line. Tackled down nicely by Greco and Thomas. Jordan Thomas, the senior defensive lineman, going to Georgia. Number 74th ranked player in the nation, the 4-star. Sonny, tell me about him.
Look, we've been talking about him all night. I will say, though, I will comment, we haven't been talking about him nearly as much as I thought. We have been saying the names Aiden Harrod, Nick Lamont, Lester, Jana Brown, equally as not, if not more, so than we have actually been saying Jordan Thomas. I think Jordan Thomas really got to turn up as this game progresses to make a bigger impact. He's already made a big impact, but let's see what more he can do.
Campanelli looking over at his dad to see what play he likes, and we have whistles.
Looks like a little bit of confusion.
Indicating a timeout by Bergen.
And I mean, look, early in this half of play, rather, illegal substitutions are going to call it.
I'm sorry, flag, yeah.
Look at that. So, yeah, a little bit of confusion. That leads to some flag troubles, it seems. So I would say officially that maybe it is June 14th. Maybe I got my days wrong. Maybe it is indeed Flag Day, Zoop. However, I wouldn't say that the majority of these flags are unwarranted. I would say it's more somewhat sloppy play. I thought they were going to go ahead and maybe clean this up. Do you think this is just sloppy play? Do you think it's something about rivalry? What do you think is kind of leaning to all this?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen this many flags in a while. We've been calling games here for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Here's Campanelli in the shotgun. Kane to his left. Campanelli pressured by Lester off the edge. Campanelli steps up in the pocket, finds Kane over the middle, right about the 50-yard line. Kane tackled hard by Jaden Brown right about the Bosco 44-yard line. Dante Kane, the sophomore running back, scored a touchdown in the first half. Bergen Catholic, the three-headed monster that they use in the running game. Kane, Sanders, and Russell, all over 100 yards. Dante Kane playing well tonight here in Ramsey. 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go now in this third quarter. Bergen Catholic dialing up some nice plays right here. Campanelli under center. Sanders, the running back behind him. Kane motions to the left. Campanelli pitches to Sanders, and we have a flag on the play, but nonetheless, Sanders stiff arms the tackler Cosgrove, and a flag looks like will indicate a false start, moving this Bergen offense back 5 yards.
And really just sloppy play by both teams at this point. I mean, perhaps the game is progressing, but it's not that late. I mean, 8:52, perhaps past some of our bedtimes. I jest, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any excuse for it. This has got to be, I mean, the umpteenth flag so far in this game. False start after false start. I mean, that's just a lack of coordination. I mean, you would say, look, if you were playing in Seattle, you'd say, hey, it's the 12th player, the crowd being so loud, but not here. I mean, look, the Iron Maniacs coming in with their "you can't do that" chants may be loud, but I don't think they're deafening enough. Not deafening enough to kind of explain all of this sort of confusion that we've seen so far.
So now it's a 1st and 15 with the false start. Ball on the 49. Campanelli will be in the shotgun. Play action pass, pressure off the edge by Acapinti and Lester. Campanelli rolling out of the pocket and throws it away at the line of scrimmage. Nice moves right there by the junior quarterback, avoiding the pressure. Lester and Acapinti brought it off the right edge. Campanelli, sometimes the best play is just to throw it away.
Yeah, instead of trying to risk kind of tossing up in the air for a 50-50 ball or even just 100% interception ball, I would say Campanelli is doing a good job of thinking quick on his feet, kind of rolling out, looking downfield, saying, I don't have anything, tossing it out of bounds. And I think that's just as good as a play as is a good pass downfield, because that really shows kind of intellectual maturity, playmaking maturity on the side of Campanelli.
Campanelli in the shotgun. Receivers galore outside. Campanelli throws it to the right side, and it is incomplete. Same kind of play, throws it away, and a late flag comes in. Is this a potential grounding penalty on the junior quarterback?
I mean, perhaps. The way that the ball was thrown, I'm inclined to believe that it was tipped just because of how wobbly it is. However, we're going to have to look at the replay for that, or at least wait until the ref tells us what the call is for.
Andrew Lynch, number 99, Bosco defensive lineman, able to come in and disrupt Campanelli right there, bringing up a 3rd and 15. Holding penalty declined. That's an interesting decision, bringing up a 3rd and 15, like I just said, instead of a 2nd and about 22.
Well, there you go, 3rd and 15.
Campanelli in the shotgun. Ball still in Bosco territory on the 49, and it seems to be a offsides penalty. Lester got a little too happy off the edge there.
And, I mean, that was fairly easy to see from the angle that you have, dear viewer. Again, Lamont, look, he's been playing fairly well again. Got that big tackle for the safety earlier in the game. However, sloppy play on all fronts, it seems, by both teams. I mean, I'll say it again and again. It's something that you can't let happen. It really is, Zoop.
6 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Campanelli throwing it down the right side, intended for Porter, but we got flags on the play. Allen on the coverage right there, along with Marquette Dorsey, the junior.
Flags on the play. What a surprise.
5-yard false start penalty on the offense. So another false start basically negates Lester's offsides, bringing it back to 3rd and 15 from the 49.
And there you go, another chorus of "you can't do that" from the Iron Maniacs. 6 minutes and 6 seconds left on the clock in this third quarter of play. 31-9. Don Bosco Prep currently trails Bergen Catholic Crusaders.
Campanelli in the shotgun. Linder gets the snap to him, and there's Kane running around, tackled right about the line of scrimmage, trying to push the pile forward, but can't. A herd of Bosco tacklers in on that play, bringing up a 4th down.
And that is a good effort by the D-line there of the Ironmen, bringing him down, making it, a many-hand effort. Again, big play like that. We were talking about it. We've been talking about it. Defense has been saying 8 out of 10 can't let those big plays happen. I would say as the game has progressed, they have been letting up fewer and fewer of those
Bosco's
big plays.
defense, 3 and
Long
out,
plays.
back-to-back drives.
Boom.
Even though they scored the field goal on the last drive, Bergen was still 3 and out. Anyway, Bartolomeo's punt is rolling, and it falls into the end zone for the touchback. Nice deke right there by Cosgrove. So Bosco looking to get some points on the board here. Score still being 31-9. And we have another flag. I mean, can we go one play without a flag?
I know. I mean, maybe I got to start taking tallies over here. It's got to be at least 30% of these plays, Zoop.
Roughing the kicker penalty. So you know what that means. Bergen gets a first down.
There you go. And that's sloppy play that you really just can't let happen. I mean, you get as you said, you get the 3 and out. I mean, that's a big stop for this defense. You're down 31-9. You got to get the ball back. Got to get some points on the board. Can't let that happen.
Roughing the kicker, though, I mean, that's just silly. You can't be doing that.
You can't be doing that. It's dangerous, and look, now they're in Bosco territory, and they got a fresh set of downs on the 32.
So now Bergen, like you just said, on the 32, Campanelli rolling out to the right, hit right about the line of scrimmage. I mean, that roughing the kicker penalty right there, you just can't have that if you're a Bosco fan. You can't have that.
You really can't. I mean, we've seen so many false starts, so many just encroachments and neutral zone infractions and that sort of thing. I mean, and now roughing the kicker. I mean, you've had pass interference. I mean, look. Yeah, there's no excuse. I keep saying there's no excuse.
And right here, we got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of players being hit on the field. Robert Akins on the latest tackler for this Ironman defense, bringing up a 3rd and 5, 4 minutes and 55 seconds to go from the 30.
So if they get it here, if they get the stop here, that'd be another 3rd and out. I mean, not even the first 3rd and out of this drive, to be exact.
Greco and Casal coming in for the Ironman defense. Casal, the junior, Greco, the sophomore.
Fairly big play coming up here.
Campanelli will be in the shotgun. Russell to his left. And we have whistles. Vito is not happy. Coach Vito Campanelli, is he yelling at his son or somebody else? Who knows? Nonetheless, he calls a timeout with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. First timeout of the half taken by Bergen Catholic with a 3rd and 8 from the 30, up and coming.
I do not envy the player that is on the receiving side of that.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
So as we work through some technical difficulties, you get to see our smiling faces. And I got to tell you, Zoop, I really am honored. It really is such a pleasure to be here for the last 3, going on 4 years now. You and I have been working together for these broadcasts. I mean, Friday night under the lights, boom. What's better than this? Great way to spend the Friday night.
Oh, totally, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, it really is a lot of fun, broadcasting these games, but there's a lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes. Right now, we got Anthony Proyer, director, Zachary Qureshi out on the field taking some photos, DJ Allen working the cameras, and just stuff like that. It's really a team effort. You see and hear us, but it really is a team effort behind the scenes.
For each one guy that you see here, there's at least 10 of us behind the cameras getting it all working, getting it all moving smooth.
So we're back from the timeout. Campanelli will be in the shotgun. Hands it off to Russell running right. And he is tackled for a short gain, which will bring up a 4th down and about 5. Nice play by the Bosco defense.
I would say another big decision here for this Crusader offensive unit. It's at 3rd and 5. They're about on their own, we're going to call it probably about 27, 25-yard line of the Bosco side. So they are, I would say, within kicking position. However, with a lead like this, they could also just, risk it and go for it.
Mujad Russell, the latest player on Bergen to have a carry right there. Coming into the game, he had 28 carries for 138 yards, averaging just under 5 yards a carry, 4.9 to be exact. Russell looks to be more involved here in the second half. Here's Campanelli looking over to the right side, throws it over the middle, and it is broken up. Nice defensive play right there by the sophomore linebacker, Acapinti, getting in there, drawing up a huge incompletion. So Bosco's defense gets another stop right here to get the ball back to their offense.
And not only that, almost a pick as well. However, bringing it up, go for the 4th down, don't get it, boom. Now pretty good field positioning. And interestingly enough, I think this is kind of a funny thing to note. If that had been an interception, Bosco would have had most likely worse field position to start from. So this is interesting. Bosco's going to start with the ball at the 26-yard line. They're going to see what magic they can make.
Sisler under center. Play action pass deep. Drop in the pocket. Looks over the right side. Throws to the right side. And it is incomplete. Pass intended for Larkin right there, which will bring up a 2nd and long.
That's going to be a little bit overthrown for number 17, Larkin, out there. However, it is comforting to see Sisler continuously try the deep ball, especially down the sidelines into the man coverage. 3 minutes, 35 seconds, as we said on the clock. 2nd and 10. Bosco down 3 scores still. They really got it. They're not yet in desperation times. They're not yet in need of a miracle, but they really got to start working.
Bosco going back to the Wildcat. A.J. Larkin, the Wildcat quarterback in there, gets the snap, and he is not going to throw it to the right side, rather run it to the right side. There he goes, making a couple moves, tackled right about the 28-yard line by number 9 on this Bergen Catholic defense. David Matizik, the junior linebacker. He's got 11 tackles on the season, averaging about 2.8 per game. David Matizik doing his thing, coming up with a tackle right there on Larkin.
And look, Zupi, that is the 4th Wildcat we've had so far in this game, and they seem to be progressively less and less effective. That one only picking up about a yard on the play.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 from the Bosco 27. 3 minutes exactly left in this game.
Not a great look.
Sisler will be in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, Mays the lone receiver to his right, and we have whistles. Looks to be a pre-snap penalty on the Ironmen.
Well, I guess the problem was we had about 5 plays without a flag. They said, I guess it's high time for one, so. No, of course, a warranted flag. I mean, and this is just sloppy play as the night progresses.
False start on the Ironmen. 3rd and 14 now from the 22-yard line.
What's worse than a 3rd and 9? A 3rd and 14. And here they go. Bosco is going to have to drop something big. We've been saying that deep ball. Keep trying it to Bobby Mays. Hasn't really worked yet, but look, see what you can do. Pocket's just got to hold long enough to air it out deep.
Sisler looking deep, throws it deep to Mays on the wheel
There you
route.
go.
Bobby Mays is unable to catch it.
And there's your flag on the play.
There's your flag. Bobby Mays draws the pass interference call. Number 21, Jordan Thomas, does not get away with the hold right there. Bobby Mays make it, even though he didn't catch it, getting a 1st down for the Ironmen.
And they'll take it however they can, ladies and gentlemen. And that was, I mean, we had perfect view of it down the, I guess, right-hand sideline. Bobby Mays definitely did get pushed out. So that is a fair call. And now the Bosco team is now benefiting from the play, from the flag.
So now you got a 1st and 10 on about the 37-yard line. Nice little play right there. 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Sisler in the shotgun, Bush to his right. Mays to his right as the wide receiver. Here's Sisler looking to the left, throws it over the left, quick pass, and it is broken up nicely. Number 5, Naeem Parrish, goes both ways for this Bergen offense and defense, shall I say. Naeem Parrish, 14 tackles on the season, 1 for a loss. He does have 1 interception on the year. Naeem Parrish, nice pass breakup right there.
So Parrish read that play very well. He was out in front of it. Personally, I thought I was a little nervous at first that he might pick it, but didn't have quite the jump in order to get both hands on it. But still a good deflection.
Bringing up a 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. Devin Sisler in the shotgun. Hunter Dutrano motioning from right to left. Fakes it off to Bush, and it is over the head intended for Bobby Mays. Bobby Mays, 6'5". He's got to throw the ball very high to miss him.
You said that right.
So Sisler's pass incomplete, bringing up a 3rd and 10. Another 3rd and long for the Ironmen. Two minutes and 18 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Ball in the 37. Bosco picked up the last 1st down due to a pass interference call on number 21, Jordan Thomas. Sisler in the shotgun, rolling out to the left now. Bush blocking, Sisler fakes it, now throws it way deep down the left sideline, and it is caught right about the 15-yard line. Sisler Sisler to Zimmerman, excuse me. Julian Zimmerman, the junior wide receiver, making a play. Devin Sisler, look at that nice touch on that pass. Devin Sisler to Julian Zimmerman for about 65 yards right there.
And might I add, Zimmerman definitely had his defender burnt. He did not catch the ball in stride. He did actually stop and wait for the ball for a second or two. However, still able to corral it in for a big chunk yard play for the Ironman offense. That really has got the Iron Maniac crowd back alive.
So Zimmerman, I mean, he wasn't even on the scouting report going into the game, but filling in for injuries, that's what you got to do. He's stepping up in a big way here today. Here's Logan Bush bouncing down to the right side and dragged by Anthony Morales for about like 3 yards or so. 1 minute and 35 seconds to go here in this third quarter. I would just like to give a shout out to Mr. Monagari, history teacher here at Bosco. Really does it all. Really great guy. Mr. Monagari, you're the man.
Big Weather Wednesday enthusiast over here, Mr. Monagari.
1 minute and 15 seconds to go here in this third quarter. DeTrano and Bush along with Sisler in the backfield. Sisler pump fakes down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. A little long for the intended target, Mays. Bobby Mays, man, I've been calling his name on almost every pass play. Sisler to Mays, they're trying to make it happen all game long.
And while we have seen a good bit of targets downfield, the majority of yards picked up have been from penalty flags against plays with Bobby Mays involved. However, we are still looking for that one big connection, but there's not a lack of connections other places. We saw Zimmerman, as we saw, that he is absolutely killing it. As you said, not on the scouting report, but after tonight, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on him.
Here's Sisler motioning a wide receiver. It was Zimmerman. Sisler looking to the left, and a screen pass to Logan Bush, and he's unable to catch it. Devin Sisler took a nice hit right there by Irby Mason, bringing up a 4th down and 6 from about the 13-yard line.
And now an important decision to make, Zuby. Do you go for the field goal, or do you keep going?
Down 22, I would say you go for it. A field goal doesn't help you right here.
Doesn't help you now. And it looks like they are going to be going for it. Is that what I'm seeing? Sisler's out there still.
Sisler's staying out there. Offense is going for it. 56.5 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Bergen Catholic's defense trying to hype up their student section. This could be the game, folks, whether Ironman fans like it or not. There might not simply be enough time for this Ironman comeback if Bosco doesn't get this first down. And we got whistles.
Flag or timeout? Let's play the fun game.
Timeout by Bosco. Bosco head coach Dan Sabella takes the first timeout of the second half. 56.5. Going to talk it over for an important 4th and 6 from the 13-yard line.
I mean, you said it yourself, Zoop. This might be the game right here. You might be saying, hey, third quarter's not over. But, I mean, look, this can really be a stake struck through the heart. That is the Bosco team if this cannot be converted effectively.
Welcome back to the booth. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Salvatore Noble. Big, like we were just saying, big 4th down up and coming. But you're in the broadcast booth for a minute. Why not see our beautiful faces, right? So, what a great night, Friday Night Lights.
Of course, man.
How you feeling, man?
I mean, look, I'm feeling great. Weather is absolutely phenomenal. Just a heads up for you guys, we are going to be getting some storms over the weekend. But right now, it is beautiful. So we are enjoying it while the sunshine, or not sunshine, but at least clear weather lasts.
What do you think, head coach Dan Sabella and offensive coordinator Iggy Urbina are drawing up right here? Maybe a flea flicker? Remember last year?
Oh, my gosh. I would say my favorite play of the year, actually, right there.
Minacucci to Parisi to Eitner on the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
Beautiful.
Are we seeing another flea flicker?
You were talking about junior connection on the Bergen team. Talk about a senior connection last year. I mean, look, that was, I said it. That was my favorite play of the game last year.
And it is, the pass is caught by Bobby Mays. First down, Ironman. 51.4 seconds to go. Sisler to Mays. Nice connection. I mean, Bobby Mays coming into the game. His stats are going to explode after this game. Numerous catches, tons of yards, but he still has no touchdown. So let's see if Mays can finally crack the touchdown, the touchdown statistic.
The drought of touchdowns, I guess you would say.
Sisler in the shotgun. Bush to his right. Motions Adrian. Adrian gets the jet sweep pitch, and Ian Adrian, the junior wide receiver, pushing forward, and he is stopped short right about the 4-yard line. 14 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go in this third quarter. Will Bosco run another play here before the third quarter comes to an end? I don't believe so. 2nd and goal up and coming from about the 4-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, 31-9. Bosco has their work cut out for them in this 4th quarter of action. First step, got to make a touchdown here. Second step, Got to end it quick on the offensive drive that Bergen Catholic going to have next. Maybe a pick, maybe a few sacks, something of the sort. You got to draw something up offensively and defensively to keep this team rolling.
I mean, but this Bosco defense has come out very strong here in the second half.
Yeah.
They had a 3-and-out, even though they kicked the field goal. They had a 3-and-out, roughing the kicker, brought them back out on the field, 4-and-out. I mean, this Bosco defense, if now's the time for a comeback, I think they can be the catalyst for a comeback.
I mean, exactly. 28 points in the first half compared with 3. I mean, we finished the first quarter with what? Was it 14 points or 21 points at the end of the first quarter for this Bergen Catholic
14,
team?
14.
And look right here. Quarter of action, 3. Bosco defense definitely adjusted something during halftime, and in conjunction with the help of penalties still amassing against both teams, but especially Bergen, they're getting something going. They're getting the cogs moving. They're saying, hey, look, we're a well-oiled machine. We know we are. And we're starting to get warm. We're starting to get warm. Hopefully it's not too late.
Yeah, I think one of the keys to the second half turnaround for the defense is the pressure. They've
Yeah.
been bringing more pressure. Campanelli's had to roll out of the pocket more. So making Campanelli move off the spot a little bit rather than just throw dimes, dropping dimes left and right all over this Bosco secondary, I think has been the key transition here, or adjustment, shall I say, into the second half.
I definitely agree with you, Zupi. Let's see how it plays out as we go back down to the field. Bosco has a second and goal on the 4-yard line.
A lot of motioning, Sisler in the shotgun, and we have another pre-snap penalty, false start on the Ironman, moving it back to about the 9-yard line now.
I don't know if there's a better way to summarize the duration of this game than that play right there. Flag to start the fourth quarter of action. I mean, who's surprised? It truly is flag day here at the Ironman game. However, not unwarranted. And again, Bosco getting moved back now 5 yards. It's going to be second and goal. However, now from the 9, which not nearly as manageable. And Bosco here really needs to score and cannot afford to burn a lot of time off of the clock.
Here's Sisler in the shotgun. Bush to his right. Devin Sisler looking for Mays and Bush. There's Sisler throwing to the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Both Bush and Mays were there, unable to corral it. Third and goal up and coming from about the 9-yard line. 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
And it seems we're seeing more and more targets of Bobby Mays as this game progresses, and Sisler is realizing that his number one asset out there, or at least supposed asset. I would be interested to see actual yardage, Zimmerman versus Bobby Mays. Target-wise, I think Bobby Mays takes the cake. However, I do think the threat of Bobby Mays may be more than the actual plays that Bobby Mays has been able to make thus far. And thus, that's drawing attention away from him, and plays can be made with other players.
Sisler gets the snap, a little bit of a bad snap. Gonzalez hits him, and it is incomplete. A late flag on the play. Thomas's second pass interference call this half. Bobby Mays, once more the intended target. I feel like I'm saying his name after every play at this point,
I know.
man. Sisler looking for his guy, Bobby Mays. Pass interference call on Thomas will extend this Bosco drive.
And I'm telling you, I really do think, and I think this is actually pretty important to say, the threat of Bobby Mays is really what's killing the Bergen defense right now. Because the majority of targets maybe going to Bobby Mays. We see his, 6'4", 6'5" frame out there. Really has the potential to do a lot of damage. However, it is some of the other players that are really doing the majority of the work. But that's not saying Bobby's not doing a lot of work, as he really is.
Bobby Mays,
catalyst for
he's
that.
one heck of an athlete. I mean, he broke the
is.
Bosco record for high jump as a junior,
I
so
know.
who knows what he could do this year on the track side. Anyway, Bush takes the handoff running left. Logan Bush makes a man miss, and he is pushed back forward. Let's see if the ref does not give him the touchdown yet. Bosco takes it down to the 1-yard line. Once more, Bosco is pinned. Short yardage opportunity right by the goal line. Let's see if they can convert this time.
And boom, number 8, big number 8. Who is that?
Elijah Kinsler, the West Virginia commit.
Hits him hard right at the goal line. They're going to stop him right close. I'm thinking here we're going to get a 4th and 1. 4th and 1 right here. I think big important play of the game. We're talking about different timestamps. 11:18. Let's see what they can do on this.
Kinsler,
Gotta get it in.
the latest tackler for Bergen. We said his name a lot in the first half. Not really much in the third quarter right there. Makes a play, though. Sisler under center, hands it to Bush. Logan Bush running left, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage. That will give the ball back to Bergen. A late flag comes in, though. That won't really matter, though. Bergen gets the big stop on 4th down. I mean, along with the flags from Bosco, that seems to be a story of the game. They cannot punch the ball into the end zone when they have the ball in less than the 5-yard line. Morales flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
So that's still going to have the end result in a first down for Bergen Catholic.
11 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
And that's definitely a gut punch to the Ironman team and the Iron Maniacs on the sidelines.
So Bergen will take over at the 1 yard line again. So let's see if Lamont Lester can get another safety. Campanelli will be under center. Pretty much here comes a QB sneak. No, it's a handoff to Kane. Dante Kane takes the handoff right to about the 4 yard line or so. Aiden Horodnik, number 95, in there on the tackle.
Wouldn't it be great to see 2 safeties in one game?
I honestly couldn't tell you when the last time that happened.
There's got to be a statistic somewhere. However, ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen it with my own 2 eyes, and I think it would be absolutely stellar, because look, that's 2 points on the board. That's one of the weirdest scores I would ever see, 31-11. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what happens.
10 minutes and 30 seconds to go here. Campanelli running back from getting the play call from his dad. I mean, that must be pretty fun. No, you're head coach of a very prestigious high school football team, and your son is the quarterback. That's got to be a relationship where I can only imagine what households on after game days are like. Here's Dante Kane making many men miss, and Dante Kane running down the left sideline. There he goes, right at about the 45 yard line. He runs out of bounds. Dante Kane looking like a Madden player right there. Juke, juke, juke. Bosco defense nowhere to be found.
And I will say that is a really good job of Kane of getting them out of the danger zone of the safety. We were talking about it. Now, I mean, I would be really surprised if they get a safety off of these next consecutive plays. Down to just about midfield. They're going to mark them at the 43.
10 minutes and 9 seconds to go. The clock will stop because of that latest first down. I mean, it's only a matter of time before you call this game over. I mean, Bosco's defense has played well. The offense, that was the story of the game coming in for most Bosco fans. The defense would hold their own. The offense would be the part that needed to step up, and they did not do so tonight. Dante Kane once more on the carry. Kane had a touchdown in the first quarter of the game, the second touchdown for this Bergen Catholic team, the second of 4 touchdowns on the night so far, and a field goal. Campanelli relaying the play call. Bergen taking their time. We noticed earlier that they were taking their time in the first, that they were going very high-paced tempo in the first half. Now they're taking their time, burning clock, trying to get the clock to 3 zeros.
And I mean, understandably so. They do have a commanding lead right now, and they, even though, again, is a commanding lead, they really want to make sure Bosco has no chance. Nail in the coffin, Bosco's got no chance of coming back.
9 minutes and 5 seconds to go here. Oh, you gotta love Anthony Proya. He's our director, he's our guy. You gotta love him. Shout out Anthony Proya. Eight minutes and 50 seconds to go here. Bosco's really played the hearts out this game. Here's Campanelli dropping back. Campanelli pressured by Horodnik.
And a late flag on the play, ladies and gentlemen. 2 late flags on the play.
Ooh, getting a little spicy here. Robert Eakins, the sophomore, getting the pressure right there on Campanelli, bringing up a 3rd and long.
As tensions rise in this rivalry game, we see 2 more flags on the play. Let's see what they are. I have a feeling it's going to be 2 personal fouls.
8 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Numerous flags. Let's see what the refs decide to call here. Number 3, I see him on the side, Chris Mimo on Bergen. Out for the season with an Achilles injury. He was going to play a key role this year, but he's out for the year, so we wish a speedy recovery to Mr. Mimo.
The refs are still deliberating a little bit. And just as I predicted, 2 personal fouls. which negate each other. I think we will continue playing. Now at the
Bergen,
46.
Bergen ball, 4th and 6 on the 46-yard line, and it appears they're going to go for it. Campanelli keeping the offense out on the field. Here's Campanelli, and it's a punt blocked by Lester. Nice play right there by Lamont. Ball rolls out of bounds up at the 42-yard line. Lamont Lester playing well tonight here in Ramsey. Had the sack for a safety and a blocked punt now.
Another flag on the play, a late flag. And it seems by the gesticulation on the Crusader side that it's against Bosco. Let's see what this means for Bosco, if it bodes well or not. Is it going to be another 3-and-out brought back?
I mean, we've seen a lot of confusion here in the 4th quarter.
So they're going to say first down, Don Bosco. However, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct call on Don Bosco as well. First down, Bosco ball. However, I think they're going to be moved back a little bit. 8 minutes and 34 seconds left in this game. 31-9, Bosco trailing the Bergen Catholic Crusaders. I'm Salvatore Noble.
I'm Nick Zuppi.
Thank you for being with us here tonight.
I mean, on the Bosco side offensively, outside of the one interception in the first quarter, that Sisler's second interception of the night, a little unfortunate, ball tipped up in the air, corralled by a Bergen player. He really hasn't played poorly thus far. Here he is, pump faking down the left sideline, hit as he throws again, ball will go out of bounds. Sisler, you've seen the arm talent on display here. Numerous long passes to Bobby Mays, Julian Zimmerman, even Larkin was one of the recipients of a long play. So Sisler definitely has a nice arm to be working with as quarterback.
And I've been talking to players throughout the week, and they're saying I think he's just got to get a little bit more confidence in the pocket. And we've definitely seen he's developed a little bit more of coolness and composure in the pocket tonight, putting it on display for us. Not great results we've seen yet. However, it is definitely promising.
Sisler in the shotgun. Deep drop, now rolls a little bit to the right, and it is caught by Bobby Mays right about the 48-yard line. Sisler to Mays once more for about 6 yards.
And the clock is still ticking down as we approach about 8 minutes left to play. Bosco still down 3 scores. They're going to have to hurry up. Not yet in desperation times where we're praying for a miracle, but they got to work quickly.
Sisler in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, Mays the lone receiver to his right with Bush in the backfield. Logan Bush picks up Kinsel in the block. Sisler is throwing the ball away. Intended target was really nobody. Mays was the closest wide receiver, bringing up a 4th down and 5 from the Bergen 48-yard line. And a late flag comes in. Let's see what this is. Intentional grounding on the quarterback, Devin Sisler.
And that hurts.
So grounding on Sisler with 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go will bring up it's a 5-yard penalty, and they are going to bring out the punting team, the Ironman. A little too far to go for it on 4th down.
However, we have seen a little bit of trickery this year by using the punting unit. I mean, this late in the game, punting is definitely not optimal. I have a feeling they're going to do a trick play.
Seven minutes and 53 seconds to go here. 31-9 still the score. Cosgrove, the punter, away. Gets the snap. Cosgrove's punt is very high. His other 2 ones were not that high. Takes and bouncing right about the 30-yard line. Kicked nicely by number 42, and Mays touches it down right about the 25, 26-yard line for Bergen Catholic to start their next drive.
So it seems the opposite of all my predictions have been becoming true for the entirety of the night. Right there, a normal punt. Clock stops at 7:41. Bergen to take possession at about the 36.
And you're in the booth once more. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Salvatore Noble. What a game we've seen. What a rivalry. Bosco Bergen meeting for the 79th time. Something we haven't brought up, though, yet tonight, amongst all of the stuff we've been talking about. The last 4 times these teams have met in the regular season, the away team has won.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like that would hold true for tonight, perhaps, but we're going to get right back into the action here.
7 minutes and 26 seconds to go here. Number 97, Jordan Thomas, in on the tackle. No gain for the Bergen Catholic Crusaders on the last play. Campanelli, play action pass for Russell. Acapinti chasing him down, and number 6, Luca Cutta, stays in bounds. Acapinti chasing him down, and he's tackled right about the 40-yard line. I'm sorry, that was Greco who pushed him out of bounds. Luca Cutia had the big touchdown here in the second half, and a Bosco player is down, number 32, Matt Acapinti. Seven minutes and 47 seconds to go. We have an injury. It seems to be Acapinti, the sophomore linebacker, who made the tackle on the last play of Cutia. 31-9 still the score. And you're back in the broadcast booth.
Once again.
Or table, shall I say.
Shall I say.
What a nice shot, though, behind us. I mean, take a look for the viewers. You have the Iron Maniacs over there. The Crusader Crazies over there. Nice shot. Nice overview of what Granatel Stadium looks like.
Of course, but why need to look in the background when you have the best 2 faces on the... No, I jest, of course. But yes, I thank you guys for joining us here tonight. Perhaps not the best outcome for your Ironman team thus far this evening. However, still a little bit of time left on the clock, and still an enjoyable night to enjoy a football game.
They still have played very hard, though. You have to salute them. They're playing hard playing hard until the end here. I really salute them for that.
And I will say this defense really has showed up a lot more in the second half. They have kind of cut down on the big plays. The Bergen offense, again, they were very productive in the first half, not as much second half. Kind of the inverse for Bosco. However, Bosco's not put up any points the second half, but they have had a little bit better of a showing, I would say, in terms of deep balls as well. You had that, 65 yards to Zimmerman?
Yeah, Sisler to Zimmerman, 2 juniors teaming up there on that play. So, I mean, it's not the ideal game for Bosco here, but there's a lot to work with. I would say a lot of positive things that you can work off of. I would say the defense really stepped up here in the second half, shut really this Bergen offense down for the most part. I mean, they're not really moving the ball here in the second half. A field goal, that's it, because they start at the 9-yard line.
Yeah. And again, they held him from a touchdown there. They got the field goal, but look, they held him from a touchdown.
Here's Campanelli handing off to Sanders. Kaj Sanders running up the middle, tackled right about the 36-yard line. Sanders coming in, held 175 rushing yards. Leading rusher for this Bergen Catholic Crusader team. 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. Got a half of a quarter left. 31-9 still to score. Second and about 5 for this Ironman unit. For this Crusader unit. The ball on the Bosco 38-yard line. Campanelli really has played well tonight. The quarterback for Bergen, 3 touchdowns. Kane had the other touchdown running. But here's Sanders taking the jet sweep handoff, and there goes Kaj Sanders down the right sideline. Kaj Sanders making a couple Bosco people miss, and there it is, the exclamation mark the Crusaders wanted. Touchdown Bergen. Kaj Sanders putting a stamp on this game tonight.
And that's a statement right there. They already had the lead, they already had a commanding lead, but that's a statement that says, hey, this is our state. We told you last time when it was 45-0, we're telling you again. However, I really do think this is not a terrible game for this Bosco team. Again, they have had some strong points in the second half, as well as the first. A teaching game, I would say.
5 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Sanders with his Kaj Sanders with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season on that latest play. Sanders, the Rutgers commit, they call him the Swiss Army knife. We mentioned that the first half plays offense, plays defense, can do a little bit of everything. Nonetheless, Bartolomeo's kick is good, so the score is now 38-9, Bergen over Bosco. 5 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
And now Bosco is down by over 4 scores, 29 points.
we're back in the booth.
Once again.
38-9 after the Sanders touchdown. Sonny, give me some key takeaways for the game from the game tonight.
Key takeaways, I would say teaching points for this Bosco team. Just as in the last few games, bunch of the scores against them coming from the big plays. Got to cut down on those chunk plays, whatever you need to do. Number 2, got to play clean. Got to play clean. This is a very sloppy game for both teams, and Bosco really needs to get it back into ship shape for the next few ones. I would say a good part of this game is definitely Sisler has been doing better with the long ball, and I think he should rely a little bit more on that.
Speaking to him before the game, he said that was a big point of emphasis.
Yeah.
Deep plays down the field. I mean, they've worked for the most part. It's just the penalties, really, and the 2 turnovers. But other than that, this Bosco offense really looking strong here. Here's Cosgrove on the kick return, making numerous moves. Tackled right at about the 45-yard line. Connor Cosgrove fighting until the clock hits zeros. Connor Cosgrove making nice moves on kick return right there.
About 5 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock here for the Ironmen to work with. And look at that. They're starting with fairly good field position down on the 45.
Starting once more in Bosco territory.
Or rather, Crusader territory.
Sisler, backup quarterback for Bosco. The freshman, Dylan Rona, is in for the Ironman. Hands it off to Bush, and Logan Bush running left. Breaks a Parrish tackle attempt, and he's pushed out of bounds right at about the 35-yard line. Dylan Rona, the backup quarterback for the Ironman. He's a freshman. He has 7 pass attempts on the season. He's 3 for 7, 27 yards, 43% completion rate, and he did throw a touchdown. The freshman got in against Archbishop Spalding in Maryland, led the Ironman down the field for a touchdown, so the freshman getting some playing time here at the end of the 4th quarter.
I mean, I think that's a sign. If anything's a sign, I think that may be one of them.
Rona in the shotgun. Rona hands it off, and he is met right about the line of scrimmage at about the 33, 34-yard line. A herd of Bergen tacklers on that play.
A little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of that play as well.
Dante DeLuca with the carry. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in this 4th quarter. Ball on the Bergen 37-yard line, and that was enough for a Bosco first down on the play. Rona will be in the shotgun. DeLuca to his left. Valdez, the center, still. Rona hands it off to DeLuca. Dante DeLuca running to the right side. Stiff arm attempt, and he's tackled right at about the 30-yard line, bringing up a second and about 6 from the 30. Number 40, Timothy Hogan for the Bergen Catholic Crusaders on the latest tackle. 2nd and 6 from the Bergen 30. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Score still being 38-9. Rona gets the snap, hands it off, and he is running right up the middle for a nice about 8-yard gain. Rona took the snap, handed off, 8-yard gain. Simple and easy.
Clock ticking down still, reaching about 4 minutes left.
Number 20.
That's going to be an Ironman first down. The remaining Ironmen still here cheering on their group.
Rona in the shotgun. Another running play. That's like the 4th in a row. But there he goes down the left sideline. And number 25 tackled right about the 15-yard line for might be another Bosco first down. Colin Brennan, the younger brother of Bosco standout safety Kevin Brennan, captain of the Navy football team. Kevin Brennan really did it all for this Bosco squad. Colin Brennan getting some playing time right here. The sophomore doing his thing. Rona gets the snap, and yet another handoff. This time it's number 28 for Bosco.
And we tick down even further, reaching about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. However, Bosco is still marching down the
Number
field.
28, A.J. Ravella, sophomore. We're seeing a lot of the underclassmen here play. Maybe to see what the future holds for this Ironman offense, no?
And I mean, so far it looks okay. I mean, at least okay. I mean, they're marching down the field fairly quickly.
3 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. Rona will be in the shotgun. Ravella gets the handoff, and there he goes, cutting back up to the middle of the field, and he's tackled right away at the line of scrimmage by a Bergen Catholic Crusader defender. 2nd and 10 from about the Bergen Catholic 13. So Bosco does enter the red zone here at the end of the game here. Let's see if they get some points and capitalize on the opportunity. DeLuca met right away at the line of scrimmage, bringing up a 3rd and long here. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this 4th quarter. I mean, it's only a matter of time before clock hits triple zeros.
Yeah, and I mean, we're already getting the goodbye chants from the Bergen Catholic Crusader Crazies. Is that what they're referred to?
Yep,
as?
the Crusader Crazies. Crusader Crazies.
Personally, not nearly as impressive as Iron Maniacs, of course, but you know, maybe that's just my opinion.
Rona in the shotgun. DeLuca to his left. Dylan Rona, the freshman, gets the snap. Play action pass looking over the left, and it is batted down nicely by a Bergen Catholic linebacker. Bosco offense unable to get the first down right there. Brings up a 4th and 8 from the 11. 1 minute and 34 seconds to go. Clock has stopped.
Do you think we're going for field goal, or do you think we're just going for it?
I think Rona's staying out there, so I think they're going to go for it.
I mean, at this point, I don't think there's any use of just going for a field goal. He said, hey, look, get some points on the board, get some experience. Clock's winding down. Got about 1:34 left.
Rona gets the snap, hands it off to Ravel, and there he goes, and he is in. Touchdown, Bosco. Bosco with 1 minute 27 seconds to go here, gets the late touchdown. Colin Brennan takes the handoff 11 yards for a nice touchdown. 1 minute and 27 seconds to go.
A little bit of bad math here for a second, ladies and gentlemen. 38-15 the score is now.
Colin Brennan, the first touchdown of his Bosco career. Congratulations, Colin. It's a milestone you will never forget.
First of many, let's hope.
And Bosco's offense is going to stay out there. They're going to go for 2. Brennan will be in the backfield. Rona will be the quarterback. Rona hands off to Brennan, running right, and he is met right at the 5-yard line by numerous Bergen defenders. So the 2-point try is no good. 38-15 is still the score.
And I will say this is probably the weirdest makeup of 15 points you will see in the game of football. We got safety, touchdown, extra point, touchdown, no extra point. Definitely an interesting game. Again, a game for the history books. You said the 79th meeting? Soup, is that
79th. Bosco leads the all-time series 41-35 and 2 ties. 1973 state championship team tied Bergen that year, but they finished 8th in the nation and won the state championship. They're honored here today.
Boom. And that is a kick received at about the 10-yard line, brought out.
Perotti taking it right about the 23-yard line. Anthony Perotti takes DeVere's kick to about the 23. 1 minute and 19 seconds to go. We're going to see about 3 more plays most likely, and the game will come to an end. Number 25, Colin Brennan, the guy who just scored the latest touchdown, in on that special teams play. Colin Brennan doing all here in the 4th quarter.
Boom. Well, Zupi, as we draw to the end of this game, I start to think about drawing to the end of our career here at Don Bosco Prep, and it
Oh, don't
saddens
think
me.
about that.
But also, look, 1 or 2 more games, ladies and gentlemen, and we sincerely hope that you join us for them.
Victory formation for the Crusaders. Campanelli will be in there to take the knee. One minute to go.
Zoop. Win or lose, it's been an honor. You win as a team, you lose as a team.
Absolutely.
You know?
Bosco team fought very hard today. I'm very impressed with their courage, with their willingness to continue fighting, even though the scoreboard may not be in their favor.
Not only that, the let's say kind of presumptuous prediction that we heard before the game that Bosco was getting shut out and that Bergen scoring over 40. Well, both of those predictions did not come true. So
Or
look
wrong.
at that. Boom.
So 35 seconds to go here. Maybe one more play for Bergen Catholic, and then this game will be over. I'm sorry, that was the last play. Clock's still running out, but you don't got to run another play. So Bergen Catholic makes a statement win here in Ramsey. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Nick Zuppi. This is Salvatore Noble. What a night here in Ramsey. Friday Night Lights, Bosco Bergen, the 79th all-time meeting. Bergen gets the win 38-15 off of Dominic Campanelli. 3 touchdowns. Dante Kane ran 1. Numerous defensive plays, but Bergen gets the win 38-15. Like and subscribe to this video. That will be out tomorrow. Sonny, anything to add?
Take care, everybody. Until next time.
Take it easy, Bosco.
Oh.